Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MacArthur Field in Monmouth, Oregon. I am Matt Palumbo, joined alongside Michael Brown here on Valley TV 17. We're bringing you Great Northwest Athletic Conference on Senior Day. It is, I believe, mid-November, Michael Brown, and this is a special day in any football player's career, but many careers come to an end today, but they will be celebrated as they are on the field today. 24 seniors, in fact, playing their final game against Simon Fraser, who they had a very easy victory earlier on in the season, but nothing has come easy for Western Oregon. Michael, talk about Senior Day and things to look forward coming up on the broadcast this afternoon.
Well, it's going to be a fun game today. Simon Fraser coming in winless in 32 games. It's going to give Western Oregon most likely a chance to let these seniors shine on their last game. It's the last game that most of them are going to play. Family, friends in town, a lot of fans here to celebrate a lot of these awesome seniors' final game playing in Monmouth for Western Oregon.
Weather will not be an issue as the sun now drenches the field, and many of the seniors on the field with parents and friends here to commemorate careers here at Western Oregon. Like we said, 24 of them. We will be highlighting many of them today, other than the second day or the second Sunday in April when you get a green jacket for winning the Masters. Senior Day, probably the most special day every year on every college football campus, and there'll be no shortage of emotion out here today as they will be led by their senior captain, number 6, Paul Revis, who will go out for the coin toss along with senior quarterback Nick Duckworth. We'll talk about all of their records and accolades that they've acquired over their time here. Having to go back through this season, Michael, you want to go out on a victory, you want to go out on a win on your home field, and you want to do something to say to these seniors, thank you for your contribution to this program, and then usher in a brand new group a year from now.
Most definitely. There's a lot of talent that will be leaving after this game, with a few returners the highlighted by Bo Heiberger, who's one of the better defensive players that we'll see back in Monmouth again next year. But at least for today, celebrating the likes of Revis and Duckworth, a lot of young men that have been putting in a lot of good work for 4 years, and now it's their final chance to shine against a team, again, a very overmatched Simon Fraser team. They'll be able to put up some points against them today.
Speaking about the attrition for the roster at Western Oregon, on the flip side, for Simon Fraser, you're looking at a team that is completely comprised basically of all freshmen and all sophomores. So the future is bright, but in that learning process, twice this season, this team has given up over 70 points, and in fact 82 points to Western Oregon just about a month ago.
Yeah, they're giving up a lot of points. They've been shut out 3 out of the last 5 games. But again, there's a lot of freshmen, sophomores playing, and right now it hurts, and it's a lot of work they're putting in. But in the next year to 2 years, they're going to have a team full of players with a lot of experience where they can go from there. Whereas Western Oregon may be doing the same thing next year of having to have a lot of people play that haven't played before and learn on the fly. That's what you got to come and find out and see who's going to win the game at that point. That's what it's all about.
Western Oregon, in the midst of their own 4-game losing streak, struggled mightily in the second half a week ago, but it was a tale of 2 halves in Burnaby, BC a month ago, where Western Oregon put up, I believe, around 33 or 34 in the first half and an additional, what was it?
I believe it's 44 in the first half
44,
and 38 in the second half. So even with the starters or the backups, they were clicking that whole day. Only a few special team gems for Simon Fraser that stood out. Cobb especially, if they can get it going early, they may be able to make a game out of it. But it's going to be a very, very big uphill climb for Simon Fraser today. Which, again, is fantastic for the Western Oregon kids celebrating their last game for 24.
I'm actually looking out on the field, and I almost feel like almost every one of the Western Oregon players out on kickoff here is actually a senior, as Simon Fraser awaits the opening kickoff. I did not see who won the coin toss, but Western Oregon moving from right to left on your television screen will be kicking the ball away to Simon Fraser as we get action underway here in conference action in the Great North Athletic Conference. And it is a deep kick, and Simon Fraser will take a knee, and they will get their first position right around the 25-yard line. Simon Fraser will have Miles Richardson at the helm. Running quarterback, throwing quarterback. On the season, Richardson, 182 for 348. That's only just about a 52% completion rating.
And with a pass-first offense like they have, only a few hundred yards rushing as the season's gone along. Again, it's a difficult game for them this year.
Senior Dominique Harrison will be on the bottom of your screen, defensive back, owner of 2 interceptions in his career. And Richardson, a lefty, being crafty on the first play. He'll run. He'll take it near first down yards. Ball's loose. And right now, it looks like Western Oregon comes out on top with the ball. It is an opening play fumble from Richardson. We do not know who got the ball, but we do know it's going to be a turnover, and Western Oregon in business right off the bat.
Looks like big senior Klug there on the recovery. It almost looks like they're going to break out and get a first down on their first play, Simon Fraser, but the Western Oregon defense, Johnny on the spot, Mr. Klug taking that, Michael on the spot to be specific, jumped on that ball, starting off the day great for Western Oregon.
Klug, a 4-year player here at Western Oregon, wearing number 8 from Aloha High School on senior day, coming up with a fumble recovery, and Nick Duckworth, the senior quarterback, going right to the air. And actually, it is a slant pattern, and you know who's not actually back there? It is not Duckworth. If I have it correct, go ahead. We didn't get the binoculars out, Mike, but is that Philip Funumia? I can't tell. Is it 12 or is it 15?
It looks like Duckworth.
Oh, it is Duckworth. All right. Maybe Funumia will see some action here today, but again, we'll be mentioning a lot of seniors today. That is first down yardage. The ball goes down to the 24-yard line, so a fast start for Western Oregon's offense.
Fantastic start.
Devin Fortier in the backfield. Fortier, a fast start a week ago. He'll get the ball off the left side with a big hole. And right now, Western Oregon using its offensive line and its experience to matriculate down the field and already in the red zone after 2 plays.
As they're running off the left-hand side, great pull by the tackle, and Forte with a 12-yard gain on that play. 8-yard play on that play.
Fortier giving 8 yards there. It'll be second down and 2, and Duckworth now maybe a chance to take a shot into the end zone. But they'll go right back to their running back. He'll go left side again. If it ain't broke, it don't fix it. Fortier reaches out for the end zone. He's going to come up maybe a skosh short. And they're going to say touchback. They're going to say this ball is out loose, and you couldn't get a more bizarre play.
As you see him coming around the outside, he looks for the corner of the end zone there. As he reaches out, it looks like he drops the ball right on the pylon there, the Todd Gurley play. And it goes as a touchback. You're going to see Forte out there a lot today. He's the biggest yard gainer coming back next year. We're trying to get a taste of next season. Unfortunately, he just dropped the ball there on the goal line.
Very, very interesting start. A fumble on the opening play from Simon Fraser. Western Oregon, Devin Fortier trying to reach out and score. Unfortunately, ball does not cross the plane, goes into the end zone, and is a touchback, and Simon Fraser catching a break. Richardson's going to go. Wow, Michael Klug. I mean, you don't get to usually call his name that much during a game. He only has, I think, maybe 9 sacks in his entire career. Reads this play beautifully.
Just didn't get blocked, running right up the middle, and he said, I want as many tackles as I can get today. It's my last game. Fantastic play by Klug.
I'm getting full video.
We're going to see, an 0-9 team against a 2-7 team today. I think it makes for a lot of excitement, a lot of mistakes too, but fantastic start for both teams, really, both defenses.
Loss of 3 on the play. Simon Fraser will send a receiver in motion, and Richardson looking out to his left. And Tyler Johnson comes up with a tip pass. He's got pay dirt in front of him. He's looking for the end zone. He'll take it inside the 5-yard line. That is 2 turnovers. This defense is on fire.
Yeah, just a overthrown pass, and you see Tyler Johnson with the amazing one-handed catch, trying to get some blockers down the field, able to get it down to the 5-yard line, and senior day is being taken over by these seniors right now. Fantastic job by this defense.
Western Oregon inheriting the ball on the 5-yard line. Michael Klug with a fumble recovery, a tackle for a loss, and then a tip pass that leads Tyler Johnson to the interception and the field possession that Western Oregon possesses. Duckworth, Fortier come out. Suarez, Manabe, Pisano, and Revis all on the field. It'll be 4 wide receivers with a running back in the backfield. Manabe in motion. And Duckworth's going to go right to the end zone looking for Blaze Manabe on the little wrinkle out into the flat. Touchdown Wolves, and they strike early.
Yeah, with Manabe going in motion, it just leaves him man-to-man. He just runs right down the 1-yard line, and Duckworth puts it right on the spot. Fantastic play right after the turnover. Puts Western Oregon on the board first.
Nick Duckworth now in just over 4 quarters of play against Simon Fraser. 7 touchdowns on the season. Extra point is up and is good, and Western Oregon on the board. First, 7-0. We'll be back for more first quarter action on Valley 17. You don't go get popcorn. You don't go get anything to drink this afternoon, because if you just joined us, we've had, 2 turnovers from Simon Fraser, a touchback from Western Oregon as they were trying to score, but the ball touches the pylon, becomes a touchback, and a Duckworth to Manabe 5-yard touchdown, giving us our 7-0 score as Western Oregon will kick it away to Simon Fraser. And we've had 2.5 minutes go by, and Simon Fraser's about ready to have their 3rd possession of the first quarter.
Yeah, it's non-stop action so far, 2.5 minutes into the game, and more action than we've seen from the last couple of games here in Monmouth.
You know, I know you see me, Mike. I kind of go into my little, space odyssey around the field when I'm trying to get ready for the game. And I was watching Western Oregon, and I could tell you it did seem like a business-like approach, but felt very relaxed here on senior day. But it actually felt like there was a purpose to what they were doing today. I understand the opponent may not be on paper as good as you would like to play today, but right now their defense looks like it's taking 0 prisoners.
For sure. They cleaned up the mistakes they had up in Canada when they played them earlier this season. And so far, again, it's only 2.5 minutes, but they look like they're ready to play today.
They're showing pressure up the middle. And the initial push there from Simon Fraser does get some positive yardage. 4 yards picked up by the Simon Fraser offense as they finally are able to hold on to the ball.
They only average about 40 yards a game rushing, so it's not something we're going to see very often. But in order to keep the defense honest, they need to at least give the ball to the running back a few times. More the merrier. They should keep doing it.
So far, Deontay Simon, 2 carries for about 3 yards. Miles Richardson was trying to run that ball and staying home for Western Oregon and getting the easy tackle is number 42, Andrew Weber.
Yeah, Weber stayed at home like he's supposed to, being that outside linebacker defensive end, held his contain, and the quarterback had nowhere to go and ended up with a short loss.
It'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Western Oregon and this defense might pin their ears back right here and send a big rush and put pressure on Miles Richardson, as it is a 3rd down that is most likely a passing play. Heiberger now showing like he wants to blitz. They're all coming forward, and it left Simon in the flat open. But again, everybody from a defensive assignment position is doing what they are supposed to. That is a loss of yards again.
Yeah, a high snap, as you see right off the bat. It messes up the timing because they had a decent play set up with the running back coming out of the backfield against the blitz, but the defense swarmed on that running back, and no gain there. Sets up a 4th down, and the special team unit comes out for both teams.
Deontay Simon with the reception and nowhere to run. Kicking the ball will be Patrick Hegarty, kicker, 6'3", 185-pound freshman. Looks like there is a flag down as Revis runs away from a very bad kick. Right now, is it looking like it's going to be? Is it going to be a running into the kicker, Mike?
Well, there's a few different flags on the field, either offsides on the defense or illegal formation, and then, yes, either running or roughing the kicker.
It looks like Hegarty, whatever happened, my focus went to Revis on that play. Hegarty's off on his own.
My focus went to the 10-yard punt. I wasn't sure if he got
illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield on the offense. Running into the kicker. Number 17 of the defense. Fouls offset. Repeat 4th down.
And who wins most on that play is the punter, because he gets a chance to kick it down the field a little bit further than that 10-yard punt just now.
Donovan Ito is going to be, was penalized, or I guess an offsetting, for running into the kicker. It'll bring up 4th and 6. Ball on the 29-yard line, and Revis Island is parked on his own 40-yard line, hopefully able to get under a kick here. Much better kick, but a low line drive at Revis. Revis short hops it, gets up the middle, gets one block, looking for room to run. It's always hard to take Paul Revis down, as it takes 4 or 5 white shirts to do the job, but Paul Revis will bring Western Oregon back onto the field in Simon Fraser territory.
Yeah, it takes it off the short hop there, and just looking for a room. Almost has a seam, but the special teams of Simon Fraser eventually gang tackles him, hold him to about a 12-yard return on that play.
Western Oregon coming out will be at the 48-yard line, leading by a score at 7-0. Just about 5 minutes removed here in the first quarter. Revis in motion across the formation, and Duckworth will pass on 1st down, and he's looking for a big chunk play here, and it is to number 6, and number 6 will take the ball down to around the 29-yard line, 18 or 19 yards picked up on 1st down.
Revis doing what Revis does. He finds an open area down the seam, and Duckworth waits for him to come open there in the middle and finds him. Great catch, great hookup. It's a great combination that everybody's going to miss after this year with Revis and Duckworth both being seniors. Awesome connection.
Actually take that ball down to the 29-yard line. That's a 23-yard play for the duo. Fortier going off that left side. They seem to have found something that works there.
Good patient running by him. He's waiting for his blockers to set him up and able to get out there for a 4-yard gain when he possibly could have gone down for a loss earlier.
Now I do see, and my eyes don't deceive me, number 15, Fanumi is out there. A wonderful opportunity for this senior, who is best known for his game-charging and game-leading win against University of North Alabama 2 years ago on this field when North Alabama was the number 6 team in the country. Fanumi hands off to Fortier and then carries out the play on his duties to make it look like he's running the ball as well.
And with Fanumi out there, it's going to be a lot of run-pass option, a lot of read option, and which is awesome, except it brings a lot of the linebackers up because they see a run coming most likely, but it will set up a good play-action pass or something where he will be able to get some yards down the field as the game goes with the play-action.
As they say at the college basketball level, 1 and done for Fanumi. Duckworth back on the field, going to the air and looking for Suarez. Suarez looked like his hands might have been held, was able to get just a finger or two on the ball, and it'll bring up 4th down and 4, and maybe a decision right here. Adrian Saldana will be coming back next year. He's already won Player of the Week on special teams, and they are going to bring out their kicker, it looks like.
Yeah, on that play, it looked like the refs were just letting him play down there. A little bit of handwork between the DB and the receiver there, but no harm, no foul. Kind of evening each other out, and he didn't make the catch on that one-handed attempt. Setting up, this 4th down with some confusion on whether or not they want to kick or go for it.
And they're going to talk about it
timeout of the half.
Sideline.
Western Oregon.
We'll step away for a break, and we'll be back to find out what happens next on Valley 17. It's 4th down and 4. Western Oregon deciding after timeout to go for it. Duckworth looking right, slant pattern. And Simon Fraser's going to get the hold as the play was going to go. to say Portera was the intended target, but that play broken up by Simon Fraser, and they do get a hold. And in this strange first quarter, it seems like Simon Fraser only had a touchdown. Feels like it already could be more.
Yeah, it looked like they had a decent play set up with man-to-man on the outside. Just not a crisp connection between Duckworth and Portera there, and unfortunately it's a turnover for Western Oregon. Setting up Simon Fraser, who all they can ask for is to keep staying in this game, hoping to break a play here and there to stay close as the day goes along.
Miles Richardson so far struggling, but he's going to run off the right side to the short side of the field, which becomes an extra defender, Michael Brown. And sometimes I just don't understand that. I know there's no alleyway there, but it's almost like the play was broken. And
well, they didn't. The defensive end didn't contain there, and he was able to get to the outside, but the linebackers coming up to make a play and keep it down to a 4-yard gain. The quarterback saw something. It just didn't work out the way he was hoping for.
Interesting, and I would probably do this if I was Simon Fraser as well. Maybe this is something they talked about as a game plan, Michael. Slow it down.
Yeah, the more time they have the ball, the less chance Western Oregon's going to score on them. Again, they've given up 80 points a couple of times this season. Anything they can do to...
Miles Richardson, he's got plenty of time, but can't pull the trigger. Throwing off his back foot, covered quite well by Western Oregon. Give credit to the secondary for that lack of a passing alley.
Most definitely. Couldn't find a receiver open. Gave himself some time, moved around, but again, great job by the Western Oregon secondary. Not letting any receivers get open. Yeah, again, though, just keep trying to hold on this ball. Simon Fraser's biggest goal right now.
Just about halfway through the first quarter here of the final home game and final game for Western Oregon this season. Looking to end a 4-game losing streak. Richardson having pressure come from the left side, and Tyler Johnson, he'll go back up and broken up at the last minute. Great play by Western Oregon secondary once again.
Yeah, John Risen making his way down the middle of the play. He had some really good plays against Western Oregon earlier this season, but not able to make a play as Tyler Johnson comes in there and knocks the ball away. Good team defense. Everybody's working around. Right now, I don't think Mr. Richardson, Miles Richardson's really trusting his original routes because he's looking one way and then having to make a lot of plays in the backfield in order to just get the pass off right now.
Paul Revis, already an owner of a couple of long run backs this year. Again, another bad kick, and Western Oregon will have another possession inside Simon Fraser territory.
And right now, the Simon Fraser defense is kind of, as they've been set up, is winning this game right now. Keeping it close, only 7-0 game right now when Western Oregon's had a lot of opportunities to score so far.
Kick is marked out at the 43-yard line, and Western Oregon and this offense go back to work. 3 wide receivers to the top of your screen with Devin Fortier in the backfield. Duckworth fakes it to Fortier, and the slant. Just a little bit too much steam on that for Lopez to handle.
Getting the matchups they want with these man-to-man coverage on the outside, but unfortunately haven't been able to make that connection. Early in this game, trying to get some momentum going on offense.
Duckworth, not exactly a big start to the game, only 3 of 6, but is finding his way. He'll give the ball to Fortier. Fortier plants his feet and goes forward for 8.5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and short for Western Oregon to keep this drive alive.
Fortier looking like Le'Veon Bell just there, waiting for the holes to open right in front of him, taking his time, making some men miss right there. Able to get 5 yards. Good run for him right there.
Tight end Caleb Tingstead comes off of the field, coming back on the field, number 13. He'll be the middle wide receiver on the top of your screen. Blaze Manabe, the only score in this game coming from Nick Duckworth, a 5-yard pass to Manabe. 3rd down now and short. Duckworth off his back foot floats it up. Piceno was the intended target, and Western Oregon kind of stalling out here and not really getting that offensive flow that they had very early on in the game.
No, Simon Fraser was showing pressure there pre-snap, And I think it just threw Duckworth off. He knew the blitz was coming and got the matchup he wanted, but just not a good pass there, just a little bit overthrown.
Not a question at all coming from the sideline of Western Oregon that they'll be going for it here on 4th and 4. Ball placed on the 38-yard line. 4 yards needed for that first down. Duckworth flushed out. He'll run on his own, and he's got enough room to go. He'll go out of bounds with a great late block coming up from Paul Revis.
Yeah,
if they show this is a lick.
He was trying to find open space. The only person that's going to get him is the linebacker. Right before he jumps out of bounds, Revis comes up and puts that hit in there.
I've said this before. It's not what Paul Revis will do. It's what won't Paul Revis do to help you win a football game. And that is just the kind of thing you need to see from your senior captain. Piseno in the backfield along with Fortier, and they'll send number 4 up the middle. It'll be positive yardage and getting close to the red zone again. Western Oregon knocking on that door.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to go to the left there, but the hole was blocked up. Cuts back, gets a good positive gain of about 6 yards.
Well, that tempo and flow that wasn't there maybe comes back with that Duckworth run coming from the Revis block. It's 2nd down and 4 on the 22-yard line, and Fortier's going off the right side, and he has got room to run, cutting against the grain. He'll take it inside the red zone and almost broke that to the end zone.
Yeah, there's quick handoff as he runs up the middle and making a lot of moves, making a lot of guys miss. Another first down for Western Oregon. You know, after that 4th down conversion, gets the momentum going for them, and they're looking really good right now, trying to score as they get in the red zone.
Real similar start for Fortier a week ago. Right now, he's got 5 runs for 34 yards, or averaging right around 7 yards a touch. First down and 10 on the 13-yard line, and Western Oregon has a plethora of options that they might be able to use here on this offensive possession to try to go up 2 scores. Duckworth fakes it. He'll go underneath. Pass underneath. It was going to go to Paul Revis, but it was thrown into tight coverage.
Yeah, dangerous pass there as he's trying to squeeze that one in there. The ball being behind the receiver there. He's lucky he didn't get hurt on that play.
I don't know if you hear that sound chiming in the background. I hope somebody turns off that sound eventually. Ask and you shall receive. 2nd down and 10 on the 13-yard line. I think somebody was backing a truck up. I'm sure it was.
You asked for the sound to get turned off. You should have asked for $1 million. It would have worked right then.
First, you got to buy a ticket. All right, Duckworth back to work. Gives it to Fortier, and Fortier showing the patience you need to be a good, effective runner. And obviously, as we look forward, not just to the rest of today, we look forward to seeing more of Devin Fortier the years to come.
For sure, with him, Terreno Sweet, if he's coming back, we got a lot of guys coming back that have put in a lot of contributions this season. But we get a good glimpse of what's going to be like next year with Fortier just taking over right now. 50 yards already in this game.
Oh, we always follow him. Number 6 is at the bottom of your screen. Might have safety help, but right now it looks like one-on-one coverage. And I think right here that was a miscommunication between Suarez and Duckworth, because it looked like Suarez basically just stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, I think Duckworth saw man-to-man there and thought he can just squeeze that one on the inside again. But again, even with some contact, the refs didn't call anything there. They knew that that ball was just not thrown in the right spot. Setting up field goal time. See how the special teams do for Western Oregon right now.
We'll call it 28 yards for Adrian Saldana. 11 field goals on the season. Good snap. The kick is no good. So it is still 7-0. We'll be back for more first quarter action here on Valley 17. Well, Michael Brown, I'll tell you, we were writing down some notes about kind of the back and forth nature of this. It's kind of gotten wacky.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I mean, you have combined record of 2-16 between these two teams.
To say it, I mean, it is what it is.
You know, you're going to see some bad plays, but you can also see some really excellent plays too. You know, it's football. It's fun.
Miles Richardson, the crafty lefty, going over the top, and he'll find an open receiver. And the first big play of chunk yardage picked up by the Simon Fraser offense comes the way of Richardson.
To Justin Buren, as he has plenty of time, and the route opens up perfectly for Buren running down the middle. Finds a hole in that zone, able to get a first down, and Simon Fraser getting to move the ball for the first time today.
Buren is actually their leading receiver on the season, so not at all surprising that Buren gets the ball. He's played 8 games, has 36 receptions for a little over 400 yards, as Simon Fraser picks up 9 more yards, it looks like, Mike.
Yeah, and they move the ball right up the middle, running the ball, which, again, they haven't been able to do very well this year, but able to get an 8-yard gain, and they have some momentum going, getting a couple stops on defense. And the longer they stay in the game, the more they're going to believe they can stay in this game and win this game. So see what happens.
Deontay Simon gets it, and the offensive line for Simon Fraser, at least for 3 consecutive plays, getting the better of the Western Oregon defensive line. Consecutive first downs for Simon Fraser kind of took him out of a hole deep in their own territory and actually find themselves on the other side of the 50-yard line, knocking into Western Oregon's territory. 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter, and Simon Fraser trailing by 7. Richardson scrambling, and he's got nowhere to go, and it only gets worse as he tries to get the ball upfield. A late flag is going to be thrown. Don't know what it's going to be.
Legal man downfield, most likely.
Play took a long time to materialize. Pass was completed to Rice and John. Can't miss him, 6'7" sophomore from Vancouver, BC.
Ineligible downfield, offense number 79, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And it's not even really his fault. Unfortunately, on a play like that, as they're running a screen play and it doesn't develop the right way right off the bat, the quarterback has to move around, messes up the timing, and the offensive linemen are already down the field doing their job, but they get a penalty for it.
Quentin Fisk, the offensive lineman who had gone too far. First down and 15, now back on the 48-yard line. Simon Fraser, it's going to be a play action. And a little bit of momentum coming now from Simon Fraser. Miles Richardson setting his feet, planting it, and throwing to his target.
Looks like there's a little bit more.
Ineligible downfield, offense number 70, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Hamada Kanan.
Yeah, that one's a lot tougher. There's not as much of an excuse for that one on a play-action pass. He shouldn't have ran down the field on that one. And you see with an 0-9 team, a team that hasn't won in 32 games, these are the mistakes you're going to see for them as they learn and try to get better. But unfortunately for them, it backs them up a lot.
Richardson changing up the play from the shotgun. And there's movement all over the left side, and here comes penalty flags.
False start, offense number 80, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Christian Phillips guilty. That is 3 consecutive plays for Simon Fraser where penalties called against this offense. What at one point was actually on Western Oregon's side of the field has now backed all the way up to their own 30-yard line.
First charge time out of the half, Simon Fraser.
Livid sideline for Simon Fraser. It'll be a timeout. We'll be back for more action here on Valley 17. I certainly wish that you all could have seen head coach for Simon Fraser, Kelly Bates. He wanted that timeout as bad as I've seen a coach want a timeout. 1st and 25. That's a design draw play for the quarterback, Tyler Johnson. Basically horse collars Richardson, and Richardson does pick up a big chunk of yards there, but he is drugged down by the leading tackler on this team, Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, great job by Tyler Johnson as usual, man in the middle there. And on a first and about, about 30 at the time, good draw play there to make it a manageable second down if they can get a few yards on this play.
If you can call 2nd and 16 manageable, that's fine.
Compared to 1st and 30, though.
Little screen play set up by Simon Fraser, a little pitch and catch, and now it is going to be 3rd and short, and a couple of really nice plays coming from this offense and Simon Fraser, as Nathaniel Durkin will get a small screen there and he's able to take it down almost to first down yardage. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, they're just dropping coverage. Unfortunately, they dropped too much there, and Durkin found an open spot, able to set up a 3rd and short. That's all you can ask for after being started there with a 1st and 30 after all the penalties just now.
Big Michael Klug not on that defensive line, had a big influence early on in this game. And Richardson will get it. He'll give it to Simon. No, he fakes it. And everybody defensive assignment-wise does their job. And the gray shirts swarm around Richardson and most likely stall out this drive. But right now, maybe they're going to go for it. Michael trailing by a score.
Yeah, he's trying to move around there in the pocket. None of his receivers are open. And unfortunately, if the defense isn't running a prevent or a lot of men deep, they don't have as much open lanes for the receiver, for the quarterback to find a receiver.
Richardson definitely a threat to run this ball. They've already shown the quarterback design draw. Tyler Johnson, untouched, sacks the quarterback, and Western Oregon takes over on a change of possessions because of a loss of downs.
Right up the middle. He had no chance. Richardson just backing away. And great job by the defense right up the middle with Tyler Johnson, who's made some excellent plays today. A sack already, and interception already. Fantastic job. Again, the defense doing what we figured they would be able to do against this Simon Fraser offense. Now let's just see if we can get the offense going today.
With 10 seconds remaining and a little bit of momentum behind you again, maybe Duckworth looks to take one over the top and see if they can put points on the board before the start of the second quarter. This pressure being shown should be a free play, but they missed it. Fortier running off that left side where he has been so effective early on in this game. As we do close out the quarter, it'll be Gabe Lopez, or Gabe Lopes, 6'4".
That's the end of the first quarter.
230-pound freshman with the tackle. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter with the Wolves leading 7-0 on Valley 17. Welcome everyone back to Valley 17. It is senior day here at Western Oregon University, and the senior defense led by Michael Klug and Tyler Johnson definitely having an impact here. Inside the first 2.5 minutes, Klug has a tackle for a loss and a fumble recovery. Tyler Johnson an interception, and then Duckworth to Manabe on the 5-yard score, giving us the 7-0 score. Fortier off the left side, coming off a big first quarter. And number 31 now 9 carries in the game for nearly 60 yards on the afternoon.
That was an awesome play just now as the center went on a sweep there. Paul Ursu, and great lead block setting up a 2nd and short.
3rd and 1 on the 41. Fortier straight up the middle. Lowers his shoulder pads, puts the hit on the backer, and will pick up the necessary yardage and then some as Western Oregon in Simon Fraser territory.
Yeah, and as we saw in the first quarter, they got down here a few times, but were inconsistent on the hookups between Duckworth and his receivers. You'd hope they get that going, as he's only 3 of 9 so far this game, or keep pounding the ball with the running back.
Duckworth going to give it to his workhorse this afternoon. Simon Fraser said, maybe not this time, Mr. Devin Fortier. We're going to let you know that we still intend on hitting you.
As they run the stretch of the outside, he gets to the end there and he sees that whole defense coming over. Good attempt by Fortier there, but nothing open.
Trevor Kemp will get credit for the tackle for Simon Fraser. 2nd and long for this Western Oregon offense, as they have relied heavily upon their running attack so far. Nice reception to Paul Revis in the first quarter, and of course the touchdown to Manabe. But Duckworth now with time will look out to the flat. Fortier not just running the ball, but also catching the ball out of the backfield. He'll pick up a few yards, but it'll remain 3rd and long for Western Oregon.
Duckworth looking for a receiver down the field and couldn't find anything. Just goes to his outlet there. And Gabe Lopez doing a good job on the defense there for Simon Fraser, able to come up and make the tackle, setting up a third and about 9 yards.
Paul Revis will be at the top of your screen. Manavy and Suarez, along with Piceno, are the wide receivers. Duckworth gets the ball to Revis, and it was really Revis who sold that he could catch that ball at the last second. I think he even faked out the defensive back on this play.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of pressure coming from the defense there, and just threw off the timing just a little bit because he threw that ball down the field. Revis down there matched up man-to-man, but not able to come up with the catch there for the first down. And it looks like today is the no punt or field goal game, so.
Yeah, it may not be. Western Oregon on the 34 will need to get the ball inside the 25-yard line to get a first down. And they are definitely trying to, I say, get Paul Revis. It feels like they want to get him a touchdown on senior day. That pass just a little bit too high.
Looks like a man down on the
Injury
field.
timeout on the field.
We're going to take a look at that real quick.
Jacob Mozil, the middle linebacker.
Jacob Mozil is down. We will step away for a break, and we'll get you an update on that here on Valley 17. Good to see Simon Fraser be able to get their linebacker off the field, but putting no pressure on that left leg. Don't know the severity of the injury, but sort of an uneven start for number 12, Nick Duckworth, and Western Oregon. The quarterback definitely trying to include his favorite target, Paul Revis, today, a couple times on that drive, keying in on his senior wide receiver in man-to-man coverage, but not able to connect. Duckworth struggling a little bit, 4 of 12 on the afternoon, only 39 yards on the afternoon, but he's got a touchdown, and it's still 7-0 Western Oregon as Miles Richardson now looking down the middle. And I will tell you, talk about one you wish that you had back if you were Simon Fraser.
Yeah, it looked like Curtis Anderson, though, was coming up and about to put the hit down on that receiver. And
Rice and John, I think we say sometimes you hear the footsteps.
Yes, he heard footsteps for sure on that one. Again, Rice and John had a great game against Western Oregon a few weeks ago. So, he was trying to do the same thing, but Curtis Anderson doing a fantastic job there coming up and putting some defense pressure.
Man across the formation as Johnson is showing blitz. And it'll be Heiberger with the tackle. And I want to say great job, camera and mics today. I will tell you, we're picking up some great hits up here in the booth.
Yeah, they had some success with this play on the last series for Simon Fraser, running that quarterback draw up the middle, but Heiberger wasn't falling for it this time. And great tackle on that play to just take him down for a short gain.
Heiberger is a high energy, basically Energizer Bunny type player. Obviously returning next season. You never forget usually on the defensive side of the ball, somebody wearing 44 usually means they are a very good player. And Simon Fraser having a little bit
Full
of
start.
the
Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty.
Probably only
Third down.
one way to say it, but when it's a false start, it means you're just a wee bit premature.
Yeah, Braden Gatlin on that play. You see Tyler Johnson coming up, looking like he's about to blitz, and it makes that tackle very, very ready, but too ready on that one, unfortunately.
Penalty flags are definitely flying in the vicinity of Simon Fraser today, as I've counted up, I believe, 5 or 6 in the last 2 possessions. We'll look into the stats a little bit further, but obviously struggling with some of the discipline you need to stay competitive in a game, but they're still only down a score. 11 and a half minutes remaining here in the second quarter, and Richardson's got 2 ways to go, but he's going over the top, and he was looking for a big play, but Western Oregon has it covered deep. Rice and John seems to be exactly where he wants to throw that ball today.
Well, he's a big-size receiver out there, and you're getting man-to-man coverage, so the quarterback Richardson decides to just go for it down the field there. Not the best pass because the DB had a chance just to intercept the ball there. No harm, no foul. It just ends up setting up a 4th and 13 and a punt.
Spencer McCabe coming out, and I just see defensive end next to his name. I do believe potentially their punter Haggerty might have suffered a leg injury, as it is a not very high kick. Revis will get it as the sun comes out. He's looking for an alleyway to run, spins away from one would-be defender, and gives this crowd something to get excited about. Revis is literally a highlight waiting to happen.
Juke, X button, square, L2, and then gets up to the 50-yard line. So far this game, I think both teams like to start in between these 40-yard lines, but they're not going very much further than that, unfortunately.
Well, on the sideline before this drive started, I saw number 15, Philip Fanumii, warming his legs up on the stationary bike, and it is Fanumii in the backfield with Devin Fortier. They'll bring 3 wide receivers out to the left, and now the run-pass option quarterback is in there, and Fanumii was looking potentially to give that ball away, but Fanumii keeps his feet in bounds, and they can't take him out of bounds. They finally do, and Fanumii gets his highlight on senior day.
Yeah, it's a good run to the outside as they run this option. Nobody stops the quarterback, though, and as soon as he gets to that edge, he's down the field for a great gain.
Tippy-toe, tippy-toe.
Yes, again, you can see right as he's finds opening right there, down the sideline. Fantastic job by Philip Fanumii on that play.
Option quarterback earns a second play on this drive. He'll hand the ball right to Fortier. Nope, fakes it again, and they're going to go back. If it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it.
No, again, when Fanumii is out there, it's going to be an option play 99% of the time. And he's taking advantage of that defense right now, moving the ball down the field.
It's always interesting. I know it's only our first season together, Mike. When Fanumii is out there just seems to be a totally different feel about this offense. It's explosive, how explosive it can be and how quickly it can move. It's a bad snap. And Fortier is lucky even to get that ball, as Western Oregon was at 2nd and 7, is going to lose maybe 4 or 5 yards in the play and bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and like you were saying just now, it does bring a different action out there. The only downside of that is, right now we have a 3rd down, and it's just the passing. You can't have him run the ball every single play, and they want to go with Duckworth to pass the ball, which limits some of the offense when Fanumii is out there as well.
Point taken as Duckworth has to come back in here. It'll be 3rd and 12 on the 21-yard line, as Western Oregon will need to get this ball inside the 10-yard line for a new set of downs, and Duckworth is feeling the pressure from Simon Fraser and underthrows Pisano. Adrian Saldana already missed a 28-yard field goal attempt in the first quarter. Maybe it was early on in the second quarter, to my recollection. Saldana being marched back onto the field, looking up at the top of the goalpost, Michael. Maybe a small amount of wind into Saldana's face isn't going to make this 38-yarder any easier.
Kicking into the sun a little bit here, too, so we'll see how that goes as well.
Revis on the hold. Good clean snap. Good leg put on it by Saldana. Arms go up, and the Wolves get 3 more and are on top 10-0. We'll be back for more second quarter action here on Valley 17. Gavin Cobb is back deep, number 11 for Simon Fraser. But it will not be him that gets the kickoff. Simon Fraser really not able to sustain any of their drives today. Have poked across the midfield line a couple times, but not able to maintain those drives. And now in a 10-0 hole, as Western Oregon's defense very early on showed its ability to get to the ball and cause massive havoc on this field early on today. 26-yard line, they'll place it for Richardson.
Pick real.
Richardson's going to throw on first down. And a great throw and catch by Simon Fraser, as we were talking about getting that ball to around midfield or playing between the 40-yard lines, Mike. That's right where it goes. And I can tell you right now, Rice and John is quite a target.
Yeah, that play went exactly the way Simon Fraser wanted it to. It's reminiscent of the same play they got some yardage on in the first quarter. Now it's the time for Simon Fraser not to have a penalty or two, because that's what's been stopping him so far this game.
Second charge timeout of the half. Simon Fraser.
Well, they're going to make sure there are no penalties. We'll come back and find out what Simon Fraser does next on Valley 17. Well, Ryson John is the big play receiver for the Simon Fraser offense, and now they're actually going to give it to him on the end around. And again, great tackling from Western Oregon all day today. And they don't let the big play receiver get much room, but he'll pick up 4 or 5 yards.
5 yards, and it sets them up down the road for having him going in motion again and then running a play action or something off that play. But good job by the defense on this one.
Simon Fraser having to burn a second timeout here, trying to see if they can get on the board, and Heiberger introduces himself to the running back.
It's not a friend he wanted to meet there, the running back, but Heiberger doing what Heiberger do.
That's a no gain on the play, and I would think you'd think twice about running through that hole if you saw number 44 coming in your general direction.
Between he and Tyler Johnson, yeah, that's a pretty awesome pair of linebackers back there.
Miles Richardson probably will be forced to throw here, but always be wary of Richardson's legs and prowess. It's a good design play, Mike, but it's going to leave Simon Fraser short of the first down, and likely because they don't want to punt the ball today, because it's been obviously a problem, they'll be going for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah, they run the slant there, but a great job by the safety, Curtis Anderson, coming up and stopping him short of the first down. And we'll see what Simon Fraser can do here on 4th down. Again, both teams having trouble moving the ball down when you get near that 40-yard line.
You definitely had your eyes on Gavin Cobb. Gavin Cobb with the reception there. It's 4th and 2. And I think anything goes right here as Richardson calls out the play to his offense. Heiberger on the right side of the line. And they're going to have to burn their 3rd timeout.
Delay game. Offense number 8. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So Richardson goes in, must have had to change the play. Maybe it was something about what the snap count was going to be, but in that time, unfortunately, another penalty, and maybe that was intended to draw
Yeah, I
them
mean,
offsides.
it's a 10-point game still. You know, you go up there, see if you can get them to jump off sides. If it doesn't happen, you lose 5 yards. But as far as the punt goes, it's going to be, if the averages stay the same, a 20-yard or 15-yard punt. Although this is a different formation happening here.
Spencer McCabe didn't even get the ball over, I think, the offensive and defensive line last time. High snap, much better kick this time. And Revis will run away from it smartly. It'll be a touchback for Western Oregon. But, I mean, my goodness. I know we were talking about just the youth of Simon Fraser, but having to bring out your defensive end, and he's a 250-pound, 6'4" punter. That's just a different look.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate on this play. You've got some shorter punts for the first attempts that he had, and this time you want it to be a little bit shorter punt and try to knock him down inside the 15 or 10. And unfortunately, he kicks it in the end zone. It sets up Western Oregon from the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Duckworth, his efficiency not where you want it to be this afternoon as he is climbing the record books here at Western Oregon as one of the all-time greats in just over 2 seasons of action. 4-tier in the backfield with him. It'll be 2 wide receivers out to the right on the 29-yard line, and 6 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. And Duckworth's in trouble. He'll get rid of the ball, and it is going to be intercepted. Simon Fraser taking advantage of the pressure they put on.
Yeah, he gets pressure up the middle and makes a really bad pass in the middle there, in the grasp essentially. And it's like Gabe Lopez, who's been making plays all around the field today, able to get a turnover for Simon Fraser and set them up on the 21-yard line and see if they can get back in the game at this point.
I don't know if you even see if they're going to get back in the game. I think they've been highly competitive this afternoon after giving up 44 points in the first half in BC. They've only managed to give up only 10 here, and they look to draw within a score. Deontay Simon was trying to go north and south, but ends up east and west.
No, you're right. You're right. It is definitely a game right now. I just mean they need to score. They need to get some points off of this and actually come away with something to say that they really can stay in this game. But again, Tyler Johnson, Heiberger, the rest of the defense coming up and making a play. It's one thing to talk about what they want to do, but then they actually have to do it. And this defense isn't going to let it happen.
Nathaniel Durkin, number 2, coming in. It's a loss of 2 on the play for Simon. Richardson's going to have Rice and John, closest receiver to him on the right side, 3 wide receivers. Trey Bialeri was definitely ready to hit Durkin on that pass, which was too high.
Yeah, it was a dangerous pass to the outside there, and Trey Bialeri possibly could have had a pick 6 if that pass was on target. Good coverage out there, setting up a 3rd and long.
Simon Fraser and this offense needs to do its defense a favor and put points on the board. Trailing 10-0. Miles Richardson has shown a couple times to Rice and John that he can get him the ball. And very lucky on that play, in my opinion, Mike. The pass was a little bit off target, that it wasn't a targeting call on Western Oregon, because I'll tell you, it's been a little bit of headhunting out there this afternoon for this defense as they feel like they are the more physically imposing team.
For sure, and as the receiver has to leap up for that ball, leaving his feet, it sets him up for a big hit. Again, you're right, though. The ball being so overthrown, the DB didn't have to hit him, and thus no penalty.
Look for maybe a pick or a crossing pattern here on the bottom of your screen as Richardson signals out to the left side. He'll look back to the right. He's going to try to run the ball. He leaps up, throws the ball, and here's a penalty flag, and this was a non-needed penalty. This will not go for interception, Mike. This is going to be defensive pass interference, as you'll see as this play took forever to develop. Richardson leaps in the ground, and the defender literally throws his man to the ground.
Yeah, and again, not the little bit ill-advised throwing the ball, jumping off his back foot, but a way overthrown pass. But as you see, Anderson up the field about 5 yards from that play had already knocked down the receiver, and penalty is being discussed right now.
Pretty sure it was Hankins.
Excuse me.
No, not with the interception. But it's going to be whistled for at least the defensive pass interference. Yes, he just literally shucked his defender.
Although some Western Oregon players pointing the other way, so we'll see what's going on there. Maybe a couple different penalties down the field.
I just think it's some sort of Geneva conference. I mean, they're just sitting out there. There's 4 of them. They're having a conversation about what they want to order for lunch. I'm always amazed. I think there's 4 different takes on it. I know that
there are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Pass interference, defense number 2. The 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Illegal block in the back. Defense, that penalty's declined. First down.
Dominique Harrison, the guilty party, giving the automatic first down to Simon Fraser.
Hey, compete, let's go.
And 15 yards.
They haven't moved the ball yet, Mike.
Some discussion down there.
They are now. Took him a moment.
Well, you're going to see if the defense is going to step up here and cause a turnover or hold them to 3 at this point. They've been playing great all day.
I don't know if there's a place kicker on the team right now, actually. I'm not joking, Mike. I think this is all 4-down territory for them all day, the rest of the day. Otherwise, I mean, unless they're in midfield, I think it looks like something's wrong with Hegarty, and they don't have any confidence. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to have a place kicker to me today, but we'll see. Miles Richardson, though, looking to the end zone. Great defense by Western Oregon. Derek Parnell, not overmatched on that play.
Yeah, no, just man-to-man out there in the corner, and great job knocking the ball away there.
Buren, the intended target there on the semi-fade or direct pass in that direction. I don't think it's 2nd down and 60 to go. I think that's their way of saying 2nd down and goal on the scoreboard, but I'll take it from about the 8-yard line. Number 8 in the backfield for Simon Fraser on the draw, running behind his center, and he's going to take it down 6 or 7 yards. And you now know, Mike, this is definitely 4-down territory.
For sure. Goal line time. You see the big guys coming out there to stuff the middle there. And we'll see what happens. They really do like that draw play. And Western Oregon has to be aware of that from here on out.
Deontay Simon is in the backfield, but I just don't know why you do not call your own number here 2 plays in a row. Simon up the middle, and he'll keep the legs turning. He reaches out, and the signal's up, and Simon Fraser's on the board, and they take advantage.
Yeah, they run a little quick draw up the middle there, able to stretch out, get to the goal line. Great job by this Simon Fraser offense, getting some points after trying to stay in this game the whole time and not converting the last 4 drives.
See if you remember this. What did Tyson used to say? Like, look, it's not a fight until you actually get hit.
I'm gonna bite your ear.
No, it's not until you actually get hit.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's a fight. And I gotta tell you something. I mean, Simon Fraser, for a team that's lost 32 in a row, as the kick is up and good, they are here to play, and it is 10-7. Simon Fraser draws within a score. We'll be back for more second quarter action here on Valley 17. Well, Nick Duckworth is probably thinking to himself, get me back on this field. I owe you guys one, as the interception leads to Simon Fraser scoring. Pisano is going to get outside the 20-yard line, but Western Oregon, you really don't want to give a team like this any reason to believe that they could actually win the game. And right now, Simon Fraser, even its own worst enemy, shooting itself in the foot with close to 10 penalties in this first half, is only trailing by 3 points.
Yeah, Western Oregon had a chance to punch him really hard at the beginning of this game a few times, and go up 14 or go up 17, 21. And the way the Simon Fraser season's been and 32 games have been, they would start to back down. But they believe right now, and that's all that their coaches want. It's what their teammates want. Now it's a game.
Duckworth with pressure again, trying to go over the top, has a man open, coming underneath the ball.
Is complete to number 16, Zach Suarez.
Zach Suarez on the far side of the field comes underneath this rainmaker.
Duckworth with a little bit of a pump fake, looking one way and throws it to the other receiver. Great job by Suarez getting some separation, making his way down the field for a fantastic gain. A great job by this offense to get the spark going after turnover on the last drive.
Got to think that the coaching staff wanted to see to get Duckworth's confidence back up, and they trick him right back out there. He's 2 for 2 on this drive and 2 first downs, as Paul Revis will pick up 11 and move the chains again.
Great job on Revis on that slant just there, man-to-man, and Duckworth coming out clicking on this drive so far, 2 for 2, and moving the ball down the field for Western Oregon.
Little bit of change of pace of play here for Western Oregon as they get set, and they want this action to continue as they're getting down the field quickly. Fortier plants his leg, goes right, then comes back left. It was second down and 1. Sorry, they only gave 9 yards to Revis on the first play.
2nd and 1, and they just run the ball up the middle there, get that smart first down, setting up 1st and 10. With the crowd excited right now here in Monmouth.
33-yard line, 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Fortier earns another handoff. And if, again, it works right now. They've been able to run him left, right, and up the middle. And Fortier carrying the workload out of the backfield.
Running that trap up the middle. And great block by Hamada Kanan. He's been having a great game so far. Kanan, excuse me. Having a great game blocking so far. Just hoping these running backs can bust it open one of these times.
3 yards on the play. Clock continues to roll. Duckworth pointing Pisano, the senior wide receiver, now in the backfield. And again, something not right in the formation. We'll step away for a break as Western Oregon has to talk about it.
Western Oregon.
And we'll see what happens next with 2 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the second quarter on Valley 17. Blaze Manabe, man with the only touchdown for Western Oregon, to the left side of your formation and the top of your screen. Revis at the bottom. And just underneath, Suarez with the big reception. Has enough for first down yardage if he gets a good mark.
A good job by Duckworth and Suarez hooking up there, getting man-to-man on the outside there, and he just kind of stops and hangs out as all the motion was going the other way to the center of the field, and able to make a man miss and get that first down. Fantastic job by the offense.
Ball on the 22-yard line. Western Oregon only on top by 3 points. They'll have 4 wide receivers in this set on first down. Duckworth looking to his right, pump fakes, going to the end zone. Man open is Piceno, and he'll just walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolves! 22 yards.
Awesome
right.
pass by Duckworth. Obviously some miscommunication in that defensive backfield, and nobody picks up Piceno as he's going to the corner at the end. They're down to the 1 yard line and walks in wide open for the Western Oregon touchdown.
8 touchdowns on the season alone for Nick Duckworth against the Simon Fraser secondary. Saldana's kick is up, and it is good. Wolves on top again by 10. It's 17-7.
Yeah, good job by Western Oregon. After having a turnover on that last drive, they're able to, do what they're supposed to do today, work their way down the field, a few runs in between those big pass plays. And it's with about a minute and a half left in this half. It's a great job by Western Oregon setting up the momentum with some good feels going into that halftime.
I think Nick Duckworth, after that interception, I think probably had one of those moments where he probably uttered things that we can't say on air to himself and said, just get me back on the field. I know what's missing. They have to call a timeout during this drive to kind of get things formulated, but they're able to get first down yardage and then the pump fake over to Piceno for the touchdown, 22-yard touchdown strike. It'll be Duckworth's second touchdown on the afternoon.
By the way, good timeout there.
I was going to say, no kidding. You cannot complain about a timeout that leads to 2 consecutive plays with that kind of yardage. And I wanted to let everybody know at halftime we will have former athletic director John Carey in the booth as he snuck around here, but he's getting ready to come on air and talk to us about Western Oregon as the kick is away. And Simon Fraser seeing if they can answer back before the half. A little bit of trickeration coming from them. Cobb gets the ball on the handoff or reverse, Mike, but it only takes the ball outside the 20-yard line, and it'll be a long field for Simon Fraser.
Good special teams by the Western Oregon guys. Staying in their lanes like they're supposed to, and even with the reverse, it didn't open anything up for Simon Fraser, and they're setting up with some not so good field position with a minute and a half left in this half to see if they can get within a touchdown or less before the end of the half.
Again, we don't know if there's going to be a place kicker today as Haggerty suffered some sort of leg injury in the first quarter. We have not seen him back on the field since. Miles Richardson, crafty left-hander, going out there, has a man wide open, and it was a easily designed screen, but not a lot of yardage to be picked up on that play.
Yeah, the DBs didn't fall for that play there as they just stayed up in their zone, able to get hold them to a 5-yard gain.
A little bit better from their vantage point of the mark. It did not look good from up here, but
I agree.
Richardson, though, go right back to work. Durkin will get the reception, and that should be enough for a first down. Clock should stop. It'll allow the chains to move as soon as they do place the chains back on, though. Clock will roll, and these officials are on it as here we go. Richardson will have 3 wide receivers out to his right. He's looking in that direction. And very lucky that when Rice and John did not handle that ball, that it wasn't picked off.
Yeah, they like those passes right over past the linebackers, and he's trying to drop it in there, but the ball wasn't placed in the right spot. And as you see, that ball goes flying over in the air, and you're hoping the safety can come up and get that interception, but it does set up a second and long.
Ball on the 33-yard line. Simon Fraser has been able to, it looks like, hold on to 1 timeout. So depending upon what's happened here with 44 seconds, they will be able to stop the clock once. And I've never seen a wide receiver quite that offside.
False start. Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. Second half.
Where was Nathaniel Durkin going?
I think he was hoping he was going to the end zone and wanted that extra head start. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for the team, and they lose 5 points.
I don't think I've ever
yards.
seen that. I mean, he was already 15 yards into his route.
Plain nose.
Well, it happens sometimes. Again, really the bugaboo for Simon Fraser in this first half has been the penalty flag.
For sure. It's a team, now they're going to down the ball, not expecting to get a first down at this point. And a team that has this many young people playing still can't have these many turnovers and still expect to stay in the game. They're going to have to clean this up in the second half if they wanted a chance to win this game.
I don't think they'll talk about it at halftime. I don't think they ever talk about the number when it's grown to going 2 seasons plus without a victory. But if there are any victories for Simon Fraser today, it is that they are only down 10 points. And the second half looms large for Western Oregon, their seniors, and the future of the program. Coming up at halftime after this short break, we're going to bring on John Carey. We're going to talk about his time here at Western Oregon Monmouth and probably him being kind of the chairman of all of the great tailgating that we see out here on a week-in, week-out basis. For Michael Brown, I'm Matt Palumbo. We'll step away for a short break, and we'll be back with John Carey here on Valley 17. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MacArthur Field. John Carey, Matt Palumbo. I think we met somewhere around 10 years ago. Many years ago. I know everybody's going to go, what's John Carey doing here? Well, I'm actually going to let you answer the question. And I don't know, having a real live resume or sort of a LinkedIn sort of moment right now, but I know you're kind of the mayor of all of the tailgating. Thank you for the food today. We're quite full. But you have quite a rich history here with Monmouth and with this university. I'd love to hear some of your story.
Well, it comes in all forms. But I've been here a long time. Got here first in 1975. Volunteer assistant football coach when Bill MacArthur was the head coach here, and worked with Gail Davis and Greg McMacken and some of the great coaches in our history that we've had here at Western Oregon. And, so I coached football for 13 years. And then somewhere along the line, I began to coach women's basketball, for 16. And, had a lot of, a fair amount of success there.
There we go, John. We're just going to make sure that we don't have you rubbing up against the phone and make sure everybody hears everything you have to say.
Oh, yeah, well, I've got to be careful not to rub the wrong thing.
No.
But, and then, of course, the last 20 years that I was here, I was the athletic director. And, oversaw all the programs at that point. And now that I'm retired, we're hitting the tailgating hard. You're correct, Matt. Ron DeVolder is our Ron's home. He may or may not be watching, but he's a little under the weather today. But he's sort of the guy that's our inspiration out here in our particular tailgate. But we got a great game day environment here at Western Oregon. We're really proud of that.
I say this and don't take it the wrong way. It's nice to have a living artifact that can actually tell us, about a different time. You said 1975. We can now fast forward. We're in 2017, careening our way to 2018. Talk about kind of what you've seen, the growth of just the whole community, the athletic programs, and just this university as a whole. I think it's an important picture for people to see as the university expands.
Well, when I first got here, of course, Oregon College of Education, proud tradition in teacher education, which we, by the way, continue to be among the best in the West, if not the United States, of training future teachers at really all levels. And then in the early 80s, when Richard Myers was here, we became much more of a comprehensive university. Western Oregon State College at that time, our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences really flourished. So we're really now a very comprehensive university. Not that, and I guess really in the beginning we weren't. We're more just teacher education. But there's been a tremendous growth on campus, both in the physical structure of campus and our student body. Our student population has become much more diverse, not only geographically but culturally and racially, which is a real bonus. I think everyone would agree. as I look out across here, I see, of course, the DeVolder Family Science Center right across. That's a key to our liberal arts and sciences. The Peter Courtney Health and Wellness Center, that is such that's sort of cornered the realm now in recruiting college students. Having a it used to be, you got to have the cool bars to go to. Well, now it's going to have the cool rec center, where kids can be healthy, and we think that's a big deal in terms of student retention and so on. At least, I haven't been at the university for 4 years or maybe even 5, but I know that was I'm sure that has not changed.
Obviously, big transitions in, say, the last 18 months to 24 months here at Western Oregon, introducing a new president in Rex Fuller, and then just within the last 6 months, and a new athletic director in Curtis Campbell. I've had the pleasure to interview both of them. Give me some of your thoughts in the leadership qualities that you're seeing from both President Fuller and athletic director Campbell, as both of those areas are going to move forward here in the future.
Well, Dr. Fuller has been here for almost 2 years, 18 months or so, I guess. I've forgotten exactly how much, but he's done a great job of integrating himself and his family into our community, the community of Monmouth. And he comes from a like background. I mean, he was Eastern Washington before he came here, and for those that remember way back 1975 when I got here, Eastern Washington was in the old Evergreen Conference, and we played them in football and basketball and other things. And so, it's a geographic point university, and so he understands the regional university concept, and I think most would agree that he's doing a tremendous job. Here of leading us, and frankly, in trying times, it's different. The whole university system is reorganized, and so we got much more autonomy, which is on the one hand good, on the one hand a little scary. So I think everybody that I've been in contact with is really excited about Dr. Fuller. Curtis Campbell, I've gotten to know Curtis reasonably well. He's sort of just getting here, and he's getting here with, a lot of things going on. Good guy. He's got a tremendous background. When I looked at the candidates for the athletic director job when they were open, I thought this Curtis Campbell is the most qualified candidate we have. I don't know whether we can hire him. Because he's from a different part of the country, and he's got his roots are there, and he's well entrenched. But he took the challenge to come out here. He wanted to try something new, and he's a remarkable guy. I really like him, and we've had a number of conversations. And if I can help him in any way, I'm certainly going to do that. And he doesn't need a lot, but if I can help him, I certainly will.
In your time, I guess you could say from 1975 to now, I'm sure there are many memories. Are there a few that you want to share? Are there any particular stories that you want to share with people that are thinking about coming to Western Oregon, and just kind of give them an idea of what the whole experience is like? You said this community now that is growing.
Yeah, Western Oregon is a wonderful place to go. It's one of those places where, I talked to one of my former basketball players yesterday. She's sort of up the line in the United Parcel Service, and and she still drives a truck once in a while, and she says every time I come to Monmouth, it just feels like home to me. And she's one of those kids that came here. It just resonated with her, and she loves it, and that's a real common theme. So Monmouth is an easy place to live. It's it's not an easy school to go to because it's rigorous, and the academic programs are quite rigorous. But it's a good place to be. It's a good chance for kids to be, where they really, where they can really excel.
I know you don't have your coach's hat on per se today. You said it was a ragged first half. Your impressions here on Senior Day, obviously. It's always a special day, but there's some very nice players, obviously, that are going to be moving on. And then that legacy will continue, obviously, with players coming in next year, and we'll be senior year after year. But today's a special day always for the football season.
It is, and we, as you know, Matt, we tailgate, and we tailgate right up to the kickoff, and then we come in. And I told my wife today, I said, I'm going to get out there and I want to watch the senior introductions. it is a special time. And, having seen kids go through and walk out of that tunnel or down the line when they used to come out from underneath the goalpost, it's a special time, and I encourage kids to grab a little piece of turf, put it in a bottle and put it on their shelf. And people think that's stupid, but I'm telling you, unless you've played and you've done that, it does sound stupid. But if you've played then it might make some sense to you. Kids, kids come here and it's a lot of work. I mean, they don't play in front of a big stadium. We got great facilities now, but we didn't always have that. And kids commit to it, and coaches are committed to it. It is a wonderful time. Now, that being said, this has not been a work of art this first half.
No, it hasn't been.
And the Wolves are really beat up. I mean, we are really. We got a lot of people that are down, that are injured, and so we're playing down the line a ways. Simon Fraser, of course, we beat them pretty handily up there, and they're having a real difficult year. So it's one of those games where it's hard to be. The emotional pitch is difficult for both teams. And sometimes when that happens, they're not as sharp as they might be.
I don't want to fast forward too much, but obviously as we exit the football season, it was in the last couple seasons, the men's basketball program headed in a very positive direction. Anything to look forward to coming up here in the early fall and heading into winter?
Yeah, I think they're going to be really good. I really do. We saw them. I didn't see the game last night against Point Loma, but they played for probably 35 minutes really good, and then not so good for 5, and one by one, up 20 in the second, and end up winning by 1. We saw him play in a scrimmage game. It was a scrimmage, but it was really pretty much a full game, referees and the whole deal, at Portland State. And, they beat Portland State. And Tanner Omlad was not playing in that ball game. Had a couple of the kids that were limited. I think we got a chance to be really good. Jim Shaw's doing a great job. Tanner Omlad he's a remarkable player. He's a local kid, Central High School. His mother, I coached his mother, Matt.
There you go.
I coached his mother, and his mother still, to my knowledge, holds the school record for most block shots in a single season, and she's 6'2", and she's phenomenal player. Tanner's a great one, and he's a lot of fun to watch. We're going to have a really good team, and I think we're going to be fun to watch. So anybody that's in the area that would be interested in seeing us go out there, whether it's on the stream or whether it's
absolutely,
whether it's right in person, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I apologize for calling you an artifact. You're a living legend.
I'm a dinosaur, man.
You're a living legend, Sean Carey. We appreciate your time up here in the booth. We look forward to seeing you in the future seasons. Thank you for your contribution so much.
Thank you very much, Matt.
We'll be back for the second half coming up here on Valley 17. We want to definitely take our time to thank former athletic director John Carey. I got to tell you, he is quite a character. And I'll tell you, special thanks to his wife. She makes wonderful baked beans. Mike, I'll tell you a second.
Oh, is that who that food was earlier?
That's who that food was earlier.
He's a great man.
Yeah, no,
and his wife's a great
cook. Western Oregon working their way back here to the field. It is senior day, Mike, but I really wanted to focus in on a few players in particular. And I think there's been some bounce-back moments and some tough moments here on the offensive side of the ball. But Nick Duckworth, 8 of 18, does have the interception that did actually lead to a costly 7 points, only 109 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Got his bounce-back play there, but I think for this game to go forward and Western Oregon to come out victorious, I think Duckworth actually might be the key to the game.
So far, he's missed some plays that he would normally make or he's made for the last few weeks this season. And unfortunately, he hasn't made those plays. And they'd be up by 2 or 3 touchdowns at this point had he made those plays. So if he can continue to do what we expect him to do, they should start to pull away here in the second half.
Because I'm partial to you, because we've known each other for the better part of 25, almost 30 years now, you were a defensive lineman. How fun was it to see senior Michael Klug, number 8? And I mean, the guy looks like a fire hydrant that they just placed right in the middle of that line. Comes up with a tackle for a loss, comes up with the fumble, Tyler Johnson with the interception. I mean, they're going berserk on this defense, especially those seniors.
Yeah, the defense is tearing it up this whole entire game. And compounding Simon Fraser's penalties early in the game.
Yep.
If the offense was to start to pick it up, again, they'd be up by 2 or 3 touchdowns at this point.
I kind of thought this number was low. It said 6 penalties for 30 yards with Simon Fraser. I mean, I saw more than 6 flags out there. I mean, did the stats guy not see it? I mean, you and I watched it. It felt like the game kind of got out of rhythm there, because I know that on one possession alone, Simon Fraser had 3 penalties in a row, and their coach lost his lid and had to call a timeout.
Between the penalties that it seems like, yes, there's 9 or 10 at this point, short punts, turnovers, but when you look at the scoreboard, they're only down by 10 points. For a team that's lost 32 in a row, a team that's just not done very well, they're in this game, and they're doing everything you could ask of them at this point. Western Oregon, not blowing them out at this point, is pushing, is trying, they're trying to get their things going. They just need to play their game. They'll be able to get control of this game in the second half. Send these seniors out on a fantastic note.
Yeah, I mean, as the teams are coming back out onto the field, getting prepared, looking again more deeply into basically, some of the stats in that first half. Again, Devin Fortier, this is 2 weeks in a row that we've been here, that he has rushed. I think last week it was around 75 yards in the first half. 74 it looks like he's gained here. They'll go for a net of 69, averaging 4.6 yards, so obviously doing a great job. Offensive line play, giving Fortier alleyways to run.
And with 3 of the starting linemen coming back next year and Fortier coming back next year, you see the future. Duckworth won't be here. Fanumi will not be here. It's just going to be Fortier and these offensive linemen, so we'll see how that goes. I think they just need to keep the ball on the ground with him, doing these short passes, get Revis going. They'll get going. They'll get going here in the second half.
On the flip side of the ball, Simon Fraser, basically, they've had kind of an interesting offensive first half as far as I'm concerned. Miles Richardson has shown sometimes that he could throw the ball almost anywhere on the field. It's quick. You get where it needs to be. And then there's other times that they call his number and he's able to pick up the yards needed. They just haven't been able to sustain the drive based on some of the penalties that have backed them up.
Again, you don't know how much of this is mental for them. They've struggled all season long. But then you see them get a play for 30 yards, and then you see them get a play for 20 yards. They have the ability to do it on a consistent basis. Probably not against a lot of the defenses they're going to face, but they can move the ball. Like, you do appreciate that they're trying. That whole team is working. They're traveling down here from Canada. They're playing American football. They're doing a pretty decent job at it. But today they're doing a better job they've done all season.
I think the moment I'm going to take out of the first 30 minutes of action in football that we were able to watch here is probably what happened on the ensuing possession after Duckworth threw the interception. He marches that offense 6 plays, 77 yards down the field, and it is an easy touchdown into the end zone, 22-yard touchdown strike that goes to Piceno on senior day, number 4. And I think that's kind of the moment that I'm going to kind of remember here going into the second half.
Yeah, and hopefully the rest of the team is thinking the same thing. And as they get the ball to start the first half, if they can score here, it'll put Simon Fraser in that position they've been all season, questioning whether or not they're going to win the game. And we'll see the Wolves take over. The Wolves, I said it right.
Wolves, yes. It's a pooch kick. And Piceno is able to get that short hop. And I'll tell you, Simon Fraser, they're excited. They came out, and I'll tell you, Nathaniel Durkin will come up with the special teams tackle, and he came out with great energy. You can hear on both of these sidelines, maybe the first 3-4 minutes of this second half is really going to dictate where this game goes.
And you'll see if Duckworth can lead them down for a touchdown, just to simmer down the hopes of Simon Fraser.
In your storied history that ended in 1995, Michael, was there anything that was said at your very last home game by anybody in your senior class that you remember?
I don't.
That's okay. And the reason I say that is, as I wonder, because I think about some of the Some of the players that are on this Western Oregon team
I
are
think
fairly
at halftime, I asked them if I can skip college and go straight to the NFL. I never got an answer. I've been waiting.
They said, I can't take my talents. 4-tier on the play there, picks up 2 yards. They said, no, Michael, we cannot take your talents to the NFL yet.
Unfortunately, and it just never
You couldn't,
forgot.
you couldn't even grow any facial hair at that point. That's a joke.
Couldn't.
Still can't. Duckworth in the shotgun. He drops the pass and now in trouble, but he gets a late block. Very lucky it wasn't called a block in the back.
Yeah, he's throwing that ball away right there. And not the way they wanted to come out in these first couple plays,
No.
setting any kind of momentum, anything else going right now.
Duckworth now, I think, round 8 of 19 on the afternoon. It'll bring up 3rd and 8 for this Western Oregon offense, and this has been a place all season, and Paul Revis actually talked about it last week, that they really, really worked on in practice, but these aren't the situations you want to have in because it limits your play calling ability when it's 3rd and 8.
And it looks like they're taking the center out. He's missing some equipment.
What's going on?
A guard, excuse me.
Interesting. Something you just don't see every day. Well, this could be interesting because right now you're going to have a new center in there. It's going to be Nick Bartell, freshman from Ferndale, Washington. And there it is. What do we have here?
Looks like they have to burn a timeout here early in the half.
First charge timeout of the half, Western Oregon.
Well, as the game started weird, the second half starts weird. We'll step away for a 1-minute break, and we'll be back for third quarter action here on Valley 17. Welcome to Monmouth, Oregon at MacArthur Field. 14 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the third quarter between conference foes Simon Fraser and Western Oregon. The Wolves on top 17-7 if you're just joining us. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Western Oregon on its own 31-yard line. In their opening possession of the second half, Duckworth drops back, and he's got Revis open, and Revis turns upfield, and he'll take it to about the 46 or 47-yard line. Drug out of bounds, Western Oregon, first down.
Great blocking by the offensive line because this play took some time to develop. You had Revis coming across the middle with Tingstad coming over to give him a little bit of a pick, and it opened him wide open, first down. Good conversion rate off of timeouts right now.
I mean, nothing against it for Duckworth. I'm not saying you dumb it down for him right now. I mean, the guy is setting records at Western Oregon that may not be broken for a while or moving up that as he goes back to work. And he'll find Revis on back-to-back plays, slant to the senior wide receiver who just literally finds the seam, corrals it in, and takes care of it.
He had time, and that's who he wanted to go to. He wasn't looking at any other receiver. He allowed Revis to get enough time to get some separation, found him for that good completion for a first down.
It's Vinny the Microwave Johnson. I mean, with the Detroit Pistons, man. Just keep giving him the ball. I mean, he's hot. You know, Revis, once he gets warmed up, he wants that rock all night long. And they're going to give it to 4-tier, and he'll go up the middle for about 4 yards on first down.
Sweet reference from 1988. Vinny Johnson, I just haven't heard that one for a while.
I'm old, Michael.
Run up the middle for about 3 yards on that play.
I would say not dumb it down for Duckworth, but I mean, I think go to the things that he does well.
Revis.
Okay, sorry. I guess that's what he did. A lot of it makes it a lot easier when you have that player out.
It's fine. I'll wait till this play is over.
I think you called the play.
It's fine. It's a great play to go to. The only downside is while he's going against, just running him to the outside and Revis again with that first down. If the cornerbacks come up and put good pressure on Revis, he's not going to get open, and then it kills the play, and that's what we've had some problems with this afternoon.
Sure.
If he can get it around to different people, but you're right. Just if they're going to run one route to the outside, see if it gets open. If not, try to play the next down and see if they can get something then.
Revis only had 2 receptions in the first half, has 3 already. 4-tier stretched out to the right side, and Simon Fraser's defense disciplined, and there'll be nowhere to run for Devin 4-tier.
Yeah, as he's trying to get to the outside there on that stretch, looking, but unfortunately nothing pops open for him, and he takes a short loss on that first play.
From our vantage point, this is always the interesting part of the field to try to watch the action, as there is this wonderful pole right in our way. We call it the blind spot, but the ball is on the 28-yard line. It's 2nd down and 11 for Western Oregon. Nick Duckworth one-hands that snap. He's going for the end zone. He's got a man. Suarez was the target, and Suarez either felt like he was held. Whoa. That's a penalty flag, and that might actually go against Suarez. I think he might have said the magic words.
Please, ref, throw me a flag. It could have been something like that. But
there might have been a please in it. I don't know if it was throw me a flag. It might have been something else.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did have a little bit of separation there, but the pass was very much overthrown.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 16, his first of the game, 15-yard penalty. The down counts, 3rd down.
Ouch.
Frustration, he got down the field and should have been able to make a play. Felt some contact on an overthrown pass, and his frustration got the best of him, and 15-yard penalty for Western Oregon.
So 3rd down and 26. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe that the New York Giants a week ago gave up something like on a 3rd and 30 play here. So, but not what you were looking for here, as Duckworth is going to go ahead and set up the screen. And Simon Fraser, we talked about this, Mike, and I'm going to say it right now. They don't look like they're going anywhere.
No, on this just dump off screen pass here, the defense believes right now, and they're running around the field, making some plays, and it's only frustrating the Western Oregon offense even more. And about to get a change of possession here very shortly.
Cobb is going to be back at his own 10-yard line. This is the time maybe where you do take the delay of game penalty. Maybe you want to, more to kick, but we'll see. Nope, they're going to go ahead and take it. Hike, it's good and clean. Good high spiraling kick, and Cobb calls for the fair catch and needed that ball to just kind of be deadened a little bit, but it'll be a touchback, and Simon Fraser will come back out on offense here to start the second half of their own, trailing by 10, but just feels like they are right there. And they're only a play or two away, again, from this being a single-score game.
Yeah, this does put them in another position to get in this game, but their offense really hasn't done that well as the season goes along, so you still are asking a lot. And with Tyler Johnson, Anderson, the rest of the defense right now, they still haven't given anything up this game.
Bo Hightower leading the team actually in the first half with 5 tackles, so look for number 44 again to exert his influence on this defense. Simon and Richardson sort of do a tango.
Yeah, they held on to that exchange a little bit longer than you've ever seen, but able to get a positive gain out of there as he had a lead blocker that he got to carry with him up the field for 5 yards.
I don't know. I think he wanted to give the ball to Simon, but Richardson decides to call his own number, and that's okay. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for Simon Fraser. Simon does get the rock this time, but he is met in the middle. And Michael Klug comes off the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, they're lucky that Simon Fraser didn't get called for a late hit on that, as Braden Gatlin was blocking downfield very, very late. But no harm, no foul, I guess, and so it sets up a 3rd and 4 as Simon Fraser's had some problems on 3rd down today.
Mike's giving me hand signals to tell me what exactly their conversion rate is. I'm going to pick up after they do pick up the first down.
It was 1 of 7. It may have looked like I was telling you to still home, but I was trying to say 1 of 7 there. But they get it on this one as they run to the outside and set up a first down. Simon Fraser, for a team that hasn't won this season, is playing their heart out right now.
Again, saw it right off the bat. Nathaniel Durkin got that opening special teams tackle, and just the enthusiasm that he had. And he's a sophomore. Just, you could see it. He's at the bottom of your screen. Richardson in the shotgun again with Simon. And again, this has been their bread and butter all day. And Caleb Anderson came up to put the hit, but this kid, I mean, how do you miss a 6'7" target? Rison's just open all day long.
Yeah, he's got Heiberger matched up with him, and as Heiberger lets him go, I think he believes he has safety help, which he did. It just came just a tad bit too late and gives them a first down.
Curtis Anderson definitely had the target on Rison. Oh, a little bit of a flip motion out to Simon. Here comes penalty flags galore. Looked like a badminton game out there or something like that. It was crazy.
I think both of the officials saw that hold at the same time as they were trying to pitch it to the outside and get some room, let the running back do something down the sideline. Unfortunately, a couple penalties.
Holding, offense number 80, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And Mr. Referee lets us know it's a holding call, so 10 yards back. Again, this is Simon Fraser all day today. You start moving the ball down the field and self-inflicted wounds, turnovers and penalties hurting them as they are trying to get the game going.
Christian Phillips will be called for the hold, tight end for Simon Fraser. Trailing by 10, 17-7. Nearly 7 minutes gone in the third quarter. Richardson now from 1st and 20. Calls his own number, and he has got men missing everywhere, but here come the gray shirts. And Richardson, again, really like it. If he would have just kept going forward, I think he gets it, Mike. I mean, he looked like he was shot out of a gun.
Yeah, that's that draw that they've liked to run today. They have a lead blocker running up the middle there. The running back becomes his lead blocker. But then as soon as he got down the field about 12 yards, he started running laterally, trying to see if he can outrun the rest of the defense, but unfortunately he wasn't able to, and it sets up a second and 3 yards to go.
17-yard pickup after getting in a hole there on that holding penalty. Simon Fraser showing their tenacity. Rice and John the intended target, but Miles Richardson throws it in the dirt.
Yeah, just not enough juice on that one. Setting up a third down again for the Simon Fraser team. Got the last one, though, so see if the Western Oregon defense can come up with a big stop here.
Back with Curtis Anderson is Joey Roos. He's on the bottom of your screen wearing number 18. Seeing a lot of action today as they have an extra defensive back in there. And again, this game that has had no rhythm to it, we'll see a timeout from Simon Fraser. We'll be back to see what happens up here on 3rd and 3, right here on Valley 17. Western Oregon's defense now trying to stop Simon Fraser on this 3rd and 3. The pitch goes out to Simon. He fumbles it away, but he keeps his hands on it. Tyler Johnson puts him into the ground, but it's not before Deontay Simon is going to move the ball further into Western Oregon territory for a first down.
Yeah, they have the motion like it's going up the middle, but they decided to do that quick pitch. But Tyler Johnson didn't fall for the original action of the play, so he makes the tackle, setting up a 4th and 1 yard line.
They didn't give him the spot. He must have stepped out of bounds, Mike. That's crazy. Well, Tyler Johnson stopping his man close. They're going to put, first time I see somebody else different under center as well. Sneak, and they're going to get it. And now they're saying the ball is loose, and Western Oregon is yelling like that ball is out. They don't know.
Well, they put the 6'1" Justin Buren back there at quarterback and ran the quarterback sneak. You got a bigger guy back there to be able to get a quarterback sneak. Even though he fumbled the ball, they did recover the ball, and the advanced yards give him a first down.
I tell you, I cannot get enough of the enthusiasm out of Kelly Bates, the 3rd-year coach for Simon Fraser. He's as animated as his players over there. And they're feeding off it. I mean, there's a good energy around them, even though, again, they take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I know, always with the Paula Abdul, references for you, but it's just, they're keeping themselves, relevant and in this game. Richardson now behind his receiver, but it doesn't matter. That's another first down.
Yeah, they've been running cover 2, the Western Oregon defense, a lot. And as you have that guy going down the seam, they put another receiver over there just to have another guy run behind him. and the safety has to choose, and thus far he's choosing incorrectly.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 94. Half the distance to the goal, added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
That's a massive play. After Rice and John picks up the big yardage and Dominique Harrison stops him with the hit at the knees, Blaine Burnett, number 94, called for roughing the passer. And Western Oregon is doing a big favor to a team that has not won since the Barack Obama administration. Deontay Simon and Miles Richardson in the backfield, feeling out their oats here. And look, they're going right to the end zone. And they got a man, and I think they're going to get a touchdown call here as he had it in there. And it's his main receiver, Cobb, with the touchdown. And that's taking advantage of what is given to you.
Plenty of time sitting back there. He sees his man. Heiberger on him. You have Heiberger missed the deflection, and the receiver able to get it down the goal line and fight for that extra yard to get into the end zone for the touchdown.
Gavin Cobb with the touchdown from Richardson. Not only does he score the touchdown, he also holds for extra points as Simon Fraser looks to draw within a field goal. It's a low snap. Kick is up, and the signal is it is good, and Simon Fraser now trailing only by a field goal. We'll be back for more third quarter action here on Valley 17. Well, if you were looking for a competitive football game, Miles Richardson and Gavin Cobb just gave you one with that touchdown strike. Again, it's a short kick. Piceno gets it. He's trying to get momentum, trying to get upfield. He gets away from one tackler. It's a shoestring and then taken down. Western Oregon will have great field position as they now look back and see if they can get some momentum here in the third quarter.
That kick return is a good example of how this whole game's gone for Western Oregon. They see an opening. They think they're going to advance the ball, get another 10 or 20 yards. Simon Fraser's coming up and making a play. If Western Oregon can start pounding the ball with some consistency, they'll be fine. But they need to get something going here in the second half.
Duckworth, not the most consistent afternoon, will give the ball to Piceno, and Piceno is only going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Nothing shaken on that play.
Yeah, just trying to run the ball up the middle there, and a little 1 yard gain. You hope he can break something, but nothing happening right now.
A little bit of steam being taken out of Western Oregon in their offensive sails right now. Nick Duckworth looking to the sideline, looking for a play. Wholesale substitutions coming in, one of them being Paul Revis at the bottom of your screen. Fortier gives him a block, and the pass is behind his intended target, and Duckworth's day of struggles continue.
Yeah, running the rollout there, and he's going to the sideline. The receiver, looks like the cornerback there broke before the receiver did, able to get in position to take that interception away, cause a turnover.
Some people call that telegraphing. In this particular case, all it does is emboldens a team that has gone through almost 3 consecutive seasons without a victory. The number alone is staggering. It's 32 games. Western Oregon in 17 games, 16-1 against this team. And right now they find themselves squarely in the middle of a tough football game as Richardson now can put his team ahead with a touchdown. Penalty flag on the play.
Penalty way down the field. Although they brought it up a little bit more. Holding on defense or pass interference possibly.
Pass interference, defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Did not give us the guilty party, but the infraction goes against Western Oregon, and the penalty will take Simon Fraser ever closer to midfield. And ever since the opening kickoff in the second half, you could just feel the energy coming from the Simon Fraser team and their belief that they were still very much a part of the outcome in this football game. Going underneath to Buren is Richardson. They'll pick up a few yards there and get the ball right at midfield.
Yeah, Simon Fraser decided to start dinking and dunking here as we go down the field. Picking up 4 yards here, 5 yards here, but they're holding on to the ball most importantly. The clock's still moving, keeps Western Oregon off the field, doesn't allow them to get their game going. And so right now, Simon Fraser dominating this game, only down by 3 points with a 2nd and 5 yards to go.
Now under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter in what's become a very competitive game. 17-14, Wolves on top. Richardson now going back shoulder. And they're going to say he's out of bounds, so it will be an incomplete pass. But I'll tell you, a lot of confidence coming from the quarterback right now.
Yeah, he's feeling it right now. He tries to make that play right on the sideline, but unfortunately, even if he did get his foot in, he wasn't able to hold on to the ball, setting up a 2nd and 6 for Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser from Canada.
BC. Vancouver, BC. Burnaby?
Believe so.
Richardson now has lots of room to run. He turns upfield, wanted to go back into the middle, but riding an absolute, it feels like a wave right now.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson having to make the decision. Does he take the quarterback or does he stay with the pitch man? And he picks the wrong one, and Richardson able to run down the field for about 15 yards, trying to make a couple men miss there at the end, but first down again for Simon Fraser.
Ball on the 31-yard line of Western Oregon, and their defense now feeling the pressure of this game. Richardson goes to Buren to the outside. Buren makes a few people miss.
Yes, Weber on the tackle down there.
Tyler Wharf, who's seen some action this season when Tyler Johnson was not available, comes in with that late hit. Not a late hit, but the hit that finally ended the play. 6 yards picked up again by Simon Fraser.
Some might call it an assist.
Half a tackle?
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
2nd and 4.
Richardson looking to his left. Has a man open. Trebiel Larry will be credited with the tackle. Reception going out to number 80 for Simon Fraser.
Yeah, Christian Phillips just running down into the flat there, able to catch the ball. Richardson right now looks very much where he wants to be, just hitting everybody where he wants to hit them. And they're moving the ball down the field, and this Western Oregon defense is starting to get tired, having been on the field for about the last 6 minutes.
First down and 10, a new set of downs, and in the red zone on the 19-yard line. Simon Fraser going to work. Richardson, though, seeing pressure, having to go to his left, rolling to his left. And Gavin Cobb made as athletic a play as I've seen in a long time in a football game.
Yeah, as right away there's a little bit of pressure, and Richardson oddly decides to run straight towards the sideline. But as he's doing that, his receiver works his way back across the field towards the sideline. He throws the ball with a nice diving catch, setting up a 2nd and 1 yard to go.
That's a 9-yard pickup on first down. And Simon Fraser really, really feeling it right now. Durkin on the bottom of your screen. It'll be Simon. Nope. It's Richardson. He's going right for the end zone, and he's real close. Confidence is now really building for Simon Fraser.
For sure, as they move the ball down there, Richardson decides to keep his own number, working it all the way down to the 1 yard line. And it looks like a 1st and goal. They were able to pick up a first down there.
Western Oregon leading 17-7.
14.
Well, was leading 17-7. Sorry. Touchdown scored by Simon Fraser on its previous possession. Now looking to take its first lead in the game as Simon stuffed in the middle. And there seems to be sort of a little bit of a gasp for air in this crowd right now. As senior day started off so promising, Western Oregon not taking advantage at any time to where they really could have put some distance away. Now looking at the proposition of trailing in this football game.
Yeah, now you're hoping that Michael Klug, Isaiah Molden, the rest of the big guys up there in the middle are able to to hold here, at least to a field goal, unless Simon Fraser scores to take the lead.
Beeren in the bottom of your screen, and it is going to be the quarterback, and he will walk in unscathed. And wow, what a start to this second half.
Yeah, it looks like they figured something out on that that option off the corner there. With no one stepping up to take the quarterback, he runs it right up the middle, to a little bit to the outside for a touchdown there. And Simon Fraser with a lead late in the game. This hasn't happened all season.
The Achilles heel for Western Oregon in our 4 home telecasts this year, Michael Brown, for the exception of Central Washington, has been the second half. Kick is up, kick is good, and Western Oregon trailing 21-17. You are watching Wolves football on Valley 17. Well, when we started the second half, Western Oregon was leading 17-7. They have been outscored 14-0 by Simon Fraser and now find themselves trailing by 4 as number 4, Kiani Pisano, senior wide receiver, will take the kickoff out to around the 35-yard line. And Western Oregon is pretty much scratching their heads right now, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. You drop 82 on a team, and you got them in a 10-point hole, and you have the opening drive of the second half, and now trailing by 4. Philip Fanumii is now in the backfield, hands it to Fortier, and again, the recipe for success early in this game was Devin Fortier, especially off that left side. But Philip Fanumii in this game, and I don't know if this is going to be a one and done for him right now. There could be a real call for him to be in this game.
Yeah, as they run the ball to the outside, you see the thing with Duckworth, he's had some turnovers today. They want to change of pace. They want to get the ball going, moving up the field, and trying to see if change of quarterback will help out right now.
Fanumii, he calls his own number. One of the things I always credit Philip Fanumii in the 2+ seasons I've had the pleasure of calling him is his toughness. He's hard to tackle. He's definitely going to take it to you. And he does know how to hold that ball until the last second to really sell that he's handed the ball off, but maybe just a little bit too long that time. It's 3rd and 5. And Western Oregon, I think, can ill afford to go 3 and out here.
Oh, for sure. Simon Fraser has all the momentum right now.
And they put Fanumii in a place where he has to pass, and he's rolling to his right, and the pass is behind Revis. And there is a level of frustration right now on that offensive side of the ball that had not been present at all in the game. Yes, they know that they had kind of been their own worst enemy, not building the lead, but now this 3 and out and kicking the ball away, trailing by 4, dare I say with 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter, this is a very dangerous time in the game for Western Oregon to a team that has not won, we're going to say it, 32 games.
For sure. Since October, I believe, 18th.
That would be one of our best friends' birthdays.
Of about 4 years ago.
About 3 or 4 years ago. And that's nuts, Mike. I mean, and right now, big kick, though.
Great kick.
Driving Cobb back, and that's something that he had to go for the fair catch, and that's at the 15-yard line. That was timely. I'm not even joking. They need anything to stop the bleeding right now.
Yeah, with the frustrations of this team right now, they won by 61 points last time they played, with a Simon Fraser that scored once on offense, I believe, in that game. And today they're staying in the game. It's very frustrating and not what anybody on Western Oregon expected. And now they have to fight over this adversity. It's adversity of not doing as well as you thought you were going to do. It's one thing when you're playing Central Washington or Sousa Pacific, these ranked teams that are playing against them, but you don't expect it against a bad team like
final play of the third quarter. Richardson will give it off to Nathan Kawami, 5'11", 200-pound sophomore from Markham, Ontario. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter and what's turned into a very compelling football game. Fourth quarter action coming up here on Valley 17. Start of the fourth quarter, and it is a big start for Simon Fraser. I cannot tell you, I've seen some things in my day, Mike, but Richardson gets it to Buren. Penalty flag in the area where Richardson threw the ball, and this could get bigger, or maybe it's coming back. But, I mean, Simon Fraser on fire.
Yeah, and the chop block there.
15-yard, half the distance to goal, second down.
Western Oregon very fortunate. Looked like they were not ready coming out into the fourth quarter. Down by 4 points, they need to be ready to go, and unfortunately they weren't. The pass down the middle, but it got called back because of the penalty. Again, very, very lucky for Western Oregon here early in the fourth quarter.
The chop block moves the ball all the way to the 22-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 19. And fortuitous may be only thing you can say, because Miles Richardson right now running the ball 13 times for 78 yards has become a nightmare for this Western Oregon defense as he calls his number again. And I'm telling you, I put a spy on him the rest of the afternoon and say, look, his legs cannot beat us.
Yeah, that's a play they've been liking to run. Again, you see him running up the middle, but that defensive line stout across all 4 men just ready to take him down. And it sets up a 3rd and 16. Like you said earlier, that long third down conversions the Rams had last week, they would love to get that same type of play.
I mean, Miles,
the 6-2 Rams that are in the front of the NFC West over the Seahawks.
If you people don't know, his favorite team is the Los Angeles Rams, and Mike's been a fan for him since his childhood. Miles Richardson, though, now flushed out of the pocket. They have the screen set up. Hightower going to Heiberger. Gosh, go right back to game 1. Heiberger, though, gets the tackle. It'll be short of the first down, and again,
that end around action right there, trying to set up the DBs to kind of look to the left of the field as they threw the ball up the middle with some good blocking down the field. But yeah, Heiberger doing what he's been doing all season there to make the tackle, setting up a 4th down. And now we'll see the interesting punt team.
Yeah, because
Simon Fraser.
Haggerty, the starting punter, has been knocked out of this game with some sort of leg injury. They've been left with a defensive player kicking the ball away, and Revis just looks like he's ready to poach this thing and get after it. Kick is up and good, and it actually drives Revis back. Revis will let this ball go away, and there is nothing more. Oh boy, Nick Suarez very lucky. I don't see a penalty flag there, but very aggressive.
They're letting them play on this last game of the season, so.
Actually in the middle of the field.
I lied.
Well, we don't know how. It's not in the vicinity of where we thought there was going to be a penalty. Laundry is off the field. Maybe they're picking it up, but again, everything suggests right now that Western Oregon.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 4, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, a block that was made in the middle of the field where it was so far away from the play. That's a bad penalty. Now Western Oregon needing to work its way down the field 80 yards to see if they can take this lead in this game. 13 minutes, a lot of time left in this game though.
Both teams using timeouts early in the third quarter. That could become a factor. And certainly what's becoming a factor is the belief that Simon Fraser has brought all the way from Canada right into the Willamette Valley and have made this a football game worth watching. And Duckworth again throws what I think might be a needless pass, as he now is around 50% on the afternoon in his accuracy.
He just doesn't see that safety kind of moving over to the middle of the field. Thought his man was matched up man-to-man, and yeah, very fortunate there's no turnover again in this play. The Simon Fraser defense has kind of figured out where Duckworth's wanting to go with these passes right now, and they're jumping a lot of these routes.
Duckworth gonna pass again. He'll go underneath. I don't think Revis is gonna get credit for the catch. They're gonna, yeah, and
yeah, the ball hit the ground. You know, little short hop to him, attempting to get Duckworth coming, or excuse me, Revis coming across the middle of the field. Yeah, it's a close play. But Revis wouldn't have had anywhere to run with it afterwards with the ball being so low. So it sets up a 3rd and 10 from the 18-yard line.
I won't say it's a desperate time right now for Western Oregon in this offense, but they need to see if they can keep this thing on the field. As the pass is up and it is intercepted by Simon Fraser, and they're looking for blockers and they're looking for room. And the afternoon and there is a late penalty flag. It's probably going to be for a late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, Duckworth again, just getting a little bit rushed and very much overthrows that ball. And I want to say that was Jaron Bailey with the return, working his way down the field, and then a very
During
late
the return, personal foul, illegal block below the waist. Return team number 34, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Trevor Kemp doing maybe a small favor to Western Oregon,
and
but
they're not calling late hits tonight, so good job for Western Oregon there.
Damage done though, damage.
For sure.
I mean, Nick Duckworth has thrown 2 interceptions here, or 3 now, I think 3 on the afternoon. And it's becoming the storyline for Western Oregon. Actually, really the storyline is Simon Fraser and not doing anything nearly as bad as they were in the first half.
A team that's lost 32 games in a row and has every reason to quit at any point in time is outplaying Western Oregon right now, and they have full control of this game.
Deontay Simon runs it up the middle off the left side for a couple yards. You and I were talking off air before we came on here. I was like, why would you?
Are you going to tell that story?
No, nah, not that story. But you were talking. I was like, why would you want to play? And you just flat out said it. It's like you don't get to play football forever.
No, I mean, this is a game. Number one, before anything else, it's a game, and all these guys get a chance to play this game one last time, or at least the seniors, one last time, and of course they're going to give everything they possibly can. They can look in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I did everything I possibly can, and for them today, it's working out.
Look at big Michael Klug.
Klug destroying the middle there. Great job. He's been having an excellent game.
I think when you watch number 8 walk, I think they call it a saunter. I mean, he just has there's a certain way about his movement. He's low, he's to the ground, center of gravity. But I think when Michael Klug hits you.
It's like the thing from the comic books. He's just a big, stout dude ready to stop the middle, and he's doing a great job of it today.
Richardson now at 3rd and 12. A passing down here for sure for the lefty. He's going to step up, trying to look for a man. He stops, he reverses field, and it's going to be a sack. And finally, something Western Oregon can get excited about, as Heiberger will be credited with the sack.
Tyler Johnson right off the bat gets some pressure off the outside, and as Richardson trying to find a man down the field, he's looking, but Heiberger says no. Takes him down for a giant loss on that play. Richardson should have threw the ball away, but he did not. Takes a big sack on that play, and it sets up a 4th and about 30 yards from here. About 25 yards.
Ball on the 44-yard line. They're going to kick it away. I don't see a fake coming here. I think Richardson may have been watching too much film of Steve Young. That was not going to go in his favor. It was a high snap, a good kick that will go away from Revis, and you can't blame Simon Fraser. They do not want special teams to ruin what's becoming a very special afternoon for their football team, as they are up by 4. There's still 10.5 minutes left in this game, and we'll say in regulation at this particular point. But Western Oregon finally getting something to go their way, as their stud of a linebacker, Bo Heiberger, takes down Miles Richardson for the big loss that causes the punt. Funumi back on the field. And I'm just going to say it, Mike. It's just, some days it's just not your day. And I know they have been doing this back in, what's the word? Platooning. It might be time for Philip Funumi to see if he can lead this team.
Which is fine, but the downside is with 10.5 minutes left, he's primarily a running quarterback, and you might want to get the ball going down the field. You need first downs, keep the clock slowing it down just a little bit. But again, with Duckworth being so off today, you may just have to stay with Funumi in the
Great
game.
camera work, guys, as they actually focus on Duckworth. And I'm telling you right now, he's right next to the coaches. It's like, let's go. And again, Funumi looking to run himself, cannot pitch it away, tries to get behind the big offensive line, and there is a penalty flag on the far side of the field coming in the direction most of us refer to as holding.
I was guessing a face mask, but just to be a contrarian more than anything else.
Michael Brown, devil's advocate.
I'm good at
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 50. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Michael Brown is a prophet.
The all-knowing,
the all-knowing
nickname.
Michael Eugene Brown II. It'll be a face mask, and it'll be a penalty on Simon Fraser that gives Western Oregon some breathing room.
Lucky break for Western Oregon right there.
The substitution pattern the same. Duckworth in there, and he is going up top, looking for Revis. Revis playing center field, cannot come underneath it to catch it. And I will tell you something. One of the great reactions I've seen this whole season is by Jaron Bailey. It's almost like he thinks he's responsible for this. I think Revis dropped it.
Well, no, he popped it out there at the end.
There it is. Great replay work, guys.
Unfortunately for Western Oregon, the ball was underthrown because Revis on that double move was able to get some separation, but the ball being just a little bit underthrown, it allowed Jaron Bailey to catch back up and knock that ball out of Revis's usually sure hands.
9:47. Wolves scoreless here in the second half after leading by 10 at the half. It's 21-17. Simon Fraser looking for the upset. Again going deep, and this time overthrows Suarez on the left side. That'll be third down and 10. Nick Duckworth not shy right now to trying to get the ball downfield. And just like any good, again, I like basketball. You know me. He's not afraid to take the shot right now, but he's going to have to make contact and actually, get one through the hoop here pretty soon.
For sure. With the pressure coming there, he threw the ball maybe a brief second quicker than he wanted to. And unfortunately, the receiver not down the field far enough in the overthrown pass, setting up again this 3rd and 10.
Duckworth on the 39 needs to get it near midfield. Steps up in the pocket. That is going to probably interesting where this penalty flag comes. This is weird. I would have thought that was pass interference on the other side of the field. Revis is coming off the field. He wants to get his helmet off. Something's not right with him.
Yeah, Revis is definitely hurt down there.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 13. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Jaron Bailey, who popped the ball loose on that double move by Revis a few plays ago, now called for the second face mask on this drive for Western Oregon, and that will take Western Oregon into Simon Fraser into territory. And this has been the story of Simon Fraser's day. It's like it went away for about almost 15 minutes, and now it's back.
Yeah, mistake-free football gets Simon Fraser the lead, and now they're back in mistake mode. We'll see if that allows Western Oregon to take this lead again. Try to take command of this game as we're getting here deeper in the 4th quarter.
First down and 10. Duckworth finds his target. A reception, an important reception for Jonathan Lopez, as he'll move the ball down to the 30-yard line. And right now, Revis's helmet is off, and the training staff is looking at him.
Yeah, you see him there, and the trainers, no tent here to take a look at him. But something happened down that play with the face mask earlier.
Fortier been looking for an alleyway and just looking for that opening. Wants to break out so bad. Fortier most likely by the end of this game is going to have 100 yards on the ground, and some of them very, very tough yards. And I'm going to harken back to this. Watching Revis on the sideline right now, it takes a lot for somebody like him to not be on that football field. So whatever has happened, it certainly, I don't believe it to be serious, but it is affecting his ability to be in the game right now. 6 yards for Fortier. It's 2nd down and 4. And the clock is rolling to the 8.5-minute mark in the 4th quarter. And Duckworth going up over the top, trying to find Lopez back-to-back. Reaches out for the one-handed catch. Oh, unbelievable. Almost came up with that. It might have been Suarez, actually. No, it was Lopez on the diving.
Just wondering if he could have had a chance to grab that with 2 hands there at the end. But as he's running down, you see him dive for that and trying to grab it with both hands, but the ball rolls out and sets up a 3rd and 4.
Right now, if they don't pick up any yardage, and Adrian Saldana had to come in, already has a field goal on the day, his 12th on the season. It would be a 41-yard field goal attempt. But 3rd down and 4 and a chance for this Western team to get a first down. And Blaze Manabe on a very similar play to how he scored the touchdown.
Yeah,
gets the first down.
They obviously like that play a lot as they ran it. That's their 3rd and 4 play that worked really well for Western Oregon getting that first down.
Officials timeout for injury.
Western Oregon right now is going to have to answer the bell, Michael Brown, and they are doing it. They're getting some help from Simon Fraser and the penalties that they have been called for 2 face masks that have kept this drive alive. Duckworth showing a couple times that he still has what it's going to take to lead his team on this senior day to a victory. But the storyline, almost like an Alfred Hitchcock show right now, is like, where did this Simon Fraser team come from?
Because of birds?
Nah, because of birds.
No, but I know what you mean. The whole thing is bizarre. Yeah, Simon Fraser, who hasn't played well all season. Some brief glimpses for sure, but not anything as consistent as they have today. And catching Western Oregon with an off day from their quarterback. They're in the game. They're leading the game to everybody's surprise. And now let's see if Western can do something.
1st down and 10. Tingstead tight end in the backfield along with Fortier. That's a formation I have not seen yet. And Fortier does not have anywhere to go. And again, this defense for Simon Fraser and their entire team just enthusiastic. You have to even wonder. I mean, we don't have a crack research staff, but I mean, when was the last time they were leading this late in a football game?
Oh, I mean, at least 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And as they haven't had any close games. They really haven't. Some smaller schools at the very beginning of the season they have, but this is new for everybody.
Ball on the 16-yard line. Duckworth now surveys the field, and he's got Piseno in the end zone, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Wolves! In what's turned out to be a very entertaining football game. It's a 16-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Duckworth sees what he wants right off the bat. Makes a great pass to Pacino out there on the sideline, towards the sideline, and helps Western Oregon take the lead as the Pacino family sitting right in front of us all having a good time down there cheering on their son.
I know I mention his name a lot, but Piseno now catches it, is going to actually hold here on the extra point attempt as Paul Revis is still sitting on the training table. Saldana's kick is up, waiting for the signal. It is good, and the Wolves are on top 24-21 in this seesaw battle in the second half. We'll be back for more Wolves football on Valley 17. 24-21 in a game that I think, frankly, at halftime thought probably would go in Western Oregon's direction. It was a 14-0 outburst from Simon Fraser that got them the lead. It's a short kickoff here, and good field position is going to be granted to Simon Fraser on a kick I just don't understand, but it'll be the 30-yard line. But Simon Fraser and Nick Duckworth is able to answer back with a touchdown strike to Keani Piseno, the senior, on a 16-yard touchdown. And very, very important that they're back in the lead. But Simon Fraser, stubborn all day, with a penalty flag on the kickoff.
Offside, kicking team number 5. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Portera going to be called for offsides on the kicking team. This game has been littered with penalties all afternoon, and it has actually affected the football game pretty much every step of the way.
That you may expect with teams with combined record of 2-16.
Now the ball on the 35-yard line, and Simon Fraser going back to work, trailing by a field goal. Buren will get the easy release pass from Richardson for a couple of yards.
Yeah, it's just their fallback on that play. If nothing's down the field, let's just throw it out to the guy on the sideline right there and see if he can make something out of it. He gets 2 yards from it.
Second down and 8.
Almost the exact same play, a little bit more yardage picked up. It'll be Gavin Cobb with the reception.
Cobb with that wide receiver screen. Tries to make a move on the outside. Good job by Weber. Anderson able to be over there to make a tackle.
Well,
excuse me, it wasn't Anderson.
I'll tell you, it's one of these things. I'll talk about it in a moment here. 3rd down and 3, big play for Western Oregon's defense. As the drop pass from Christian Phillips was thinking about the first down, and I'm pretty sure Simon Fraser.
Yeah, same type of action as the Manabe play for Western Oregon recently. They run him to the flat, and good play setup, very good call, but unfortunately he wasn't able to grab that ball, and sets up a 4th down. And we'll see the punt team come out with about 6 minutes left. Be aware of anything happening here.
Spencer McCabe has been punting this afternoon when Haggerty suffered a leg injury in the first quarter on a running into the kicker. And it's going to be a timeout. Is this Western Oregon team is in disarray as they can't get enough men on the field for this punt. We'll step away for a short break. We'll be back on Valley 17. If you're just joining us, a big moment in the game as McCabe kicks it away, and he's trying to kick it down to Blaze Manabe. Running away from it is kicked out of bounds. Training staff has taken Paul Revis off of the field, and on the training table, all that remains is Paul Revis's helmet. A senior day that saw number 6 catch many footballs and influence this game. He is now on the sideline. That's a good sign. Has a towel on his head. Great work again from everybody on this crew. Want to give special recognition to you, and we will make sure that happens later in the game. Undisclosed injury, but it looks like Paul Revis's career at Western Oregon may end in an injury, and now his teammates will have to pick him up, even leading by 3. Fortier gets it on 1st down. He'll make one-man miss, get up the middle, take it out to midfield. And Devin Fortier is a harbinger of things to come here at Western Oregon.
Yeah, as he's kind of hanging out there back in the backfield, making some moves, and then busts out, able to get about 14 yards on that play. And if they just keep on the ball on the ground, moving, keeping this clock going with 6 minutes left in the game, looks like Western's trying to take control.
Tough thing for Western Oregon. They haven't even been in the position this year to know what it's like to be this late in the game and try to hold the lead. And Simon Fraser, on the exact flip side, hasn't been in a position to win a football game.
Great point. That's
so Duckworth now is trying to go over the middle. And it's Tingstead. Tingstead with the first tight end reception I think I've seen maybe since the first week that we were here.
Yeah, as you see him rolling out, he's looking, all of a sudden, bam, sees his man open down the middle. Gets it to him, 1st down, keeps the clock moving. Great job by the Western Oregon offense on that play.
Quotation marks, safety valve.
For sure. Tingsted's been there a lot this year.
I agree, and I've always wondered that because, it's part of Arn Ferguson's offense. They had Andy Agvey, who you couldn't miss out there because he was such an imposing figure. Taylor Tingstead in that same mold, number 45 with the 1st down. And Fortier trying again. He wants to get one man to miss, and he has on his last 2 runs.
He's in the backfield, looking. Nothing really open. Then bam, he's able to have squatulate his way down the field. Bam, he was out.
That's 1st down. And you did drop in the word of the day.
I don't know that I did a very good job.
I don't know if you did, but I know that John Stroud was going to be very proud of you. I'm sure we will talk about it in the post-game comments. Player down on the field for Western Oregon, but a real important moment. There's 4:53 on the clock, but we have to talk about people that do things that I can't do. So to our family at KWVT and Valley 17, we wanted to spend a few moments to commemorate your work, whether it be Tony Lonis, Andy Markisham, Mike Madsen, John Stroud, Don Roth, Nikki, who can forget the man that barks in our ear, Ken Louis-Teg. Want to thank you again for a great season here at Western Oregon University.
Thank you for offering this for me this year, and it's been a really awesome experience.
Mike, you can't say things like that. When I have a Kleenex in my hand, I will get choked up and get verklempt, and we don't have an outcome yet. It is 24-21, just under 5 minutes remaining. Oh my gosh, look, yeah, everybody wave. Yeah, we're the people in the booth. Again, great camera work today, guys. Thank you for the replays and a great season. Hopefully we can take it out with a victory, as Nick Duckworth from the shotgun will hand it off to Devin Fortier. And Fortier, I feel like, is just one play away.
This offensive line's ready. They're like, this is our time. We get to take over now. We get to knock these defensive linemen back and take this victory. All we have to do is just keep moving the score. One score here, probably.
Well, not a field goal, Michael, because that's only a touchdown.
Excuse me. I mean, I'm speaking touchdown. I mean, a drive with a touchdown would probably end this game. Oh, no, definitely field goals. Not what we're looking for.
Second down and 5, and Mike Brown's looking for a reservation for 6, and the Western Oregon offense trying to oblige by scoring a late touchdown and putting away this game. Fortier off the right side. He'll cut it back up the middle. And again, Simon Fraser competitive on every single football play today.
Yeah, as much as I was saying that the offensive line wants to do it, so does the defensive line, and they were able to stretch it out and hold it to about a 2-yard gain, setting up a 3rd and a long 3 for Western Oregon on their offense.
Simon Fraser has
great tackle there, by the way, by Gabe Lopez, who's been all over the field all day, having a great game for Simon Fraser.
Important. Simon Fraser owns 2 timeouts, trailing by 3. But Nick Duckworth and the Western Oregon offense do not pick up the needed yardage. And this is a tough call. I mean, the season, is coming down to its final minutes.
Yeah, and they run the ball to the outside there with Brad Lyons for Simon Fraser, able to just wreck the offensive line and get a play in the backfield, setting up a field goal attempt for Western Oregon.
So it'll be Pisano holding the ball in place of Paul Revis. Saldana's already missed earlier, and it is blocked. And Simon Fraser is not on life support.
No,
they very much have.
Just as I thought Western Oregon was about to just kind of seal this one away, I did not see who was able to get up there in the middle for that block, but a great job by the special teams of Simon Fraser to keep them in the game and allow their offense a chance to tie or win this game with 2.5 minutes left if they can move the ball down the field 65 yards.
Simon Fraser has had one heck of an afternoon, especially in the second half. Miles Richardson and this offense now has a say in the outcome as he goes right to the air, and a first down is made by Buren all the way out to the 45-yard line, maybe an 18 or 19-yard pickup on first down, and it'll be Western Oregon's defense that's going to determine.
Plenty of time, and Richardson sees what he wants the whole time, waits for his man to get open and throws it in that middle of that zone. First down, Simon Fraser.
Richardson again underneath to Durkin. Durkin, the ball is out. And Gavin Cobb could not have been any more in a right place when that ball came out. It literally popped into his hands.
Flashes of the rest of the season for Simon Fraser as they get a positive gain, and then all of a sudden it looks like you're going to get a turnover. But yeah, you're right. Cobb's there. Bam. Catches that ball.
Trey Biel. Larry comes in there. Jars the ball loose. Richardson second down and 5, and there is false start coming up, says Michael Brown, and there's the signal.
You made the point earlier. This Western has
offense number 61, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Western hasn't been in a position to hold a lead, and Simon Fraser hasn't been in a chance to win a game at the end of it. So you're seeing these mistakes.
Funny thing, early on in this game, there was some interior pressure obviously coming from Klug, Tyler Johnson. They have not been able to figure out the riddle of Miles Richardson, and they will not put the pressure on because they fear that he can run the ball and run it for big chunks of yards.
Yeah, and that's why you see a fairly vanilla defense for Western Oregon, and Simon Fraser's had good luck with it this second half.
In trouble as we say that. Penalty flag goes.
and so does Richardson. I don't know what's going to be here, but it could be a timely sack followed by a very difficult penalty.
Yeah, you see Casey Gates coming off the end there, and no blocking there. He's able to get him, just hold him enough to get that sack. Huge loss for Simon Fraser at this point of the game. A minute left to go.
Looks like they're going to take the sack. The talk is, I think, of a penalty, and they don't tack on. They're going to decline the penalty and take the sack.
Unless it's after the ball foul, personal foul type thing. So
Holding, offense number 70. Penalties declined, 3rd down.
such a huge loss. You'll take that. You'll decline that every time. Lose the down as well.
Mike, 1 minute and 3 seconds. 63 seconds remain in the season for Western Oregon. Losers of 4 straight. Trying to end this season on a winning note. The clock rolls. Richardson calls for it. More pressure being shown. Pass not. Oh, no. That is not a catchable football.
There was definitely contact down the field, but you're right, it was overthrown. But that, see what Mr. Referee thinks about it.
Rice and John could have been.
They're talking about it.
Plastic Man, he's not catching that ball.
Big call, huge call. Oh, they
Pass
gave it to him.
interference, defense number 18. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And it's a spot foul. Johnny Ruse gets called for something. I'm sorry. I mean, the sideline becomes another defender. And that ball wasn't within 12 feet of Rice and John. And it's a huge penalty. It's a fresh set of downs. Now 50 seconds. Ball placed on the 41-yard line. And Simon Fraser still trying to see if they can get a victory. Durkin gets it. Curtis Anderson lays the lick, but not before he gets into Western Oregon territory. And there is going to be a movement of the chains. I don't believe they're going to call a timeout here. There's 40.
The coach was just
Second
running on the
charge
field.
timeout of the half. Simon Fraser.
Keep it right here. Mike, I will tell you, of the 3 games that we've had here before, there was pretty much a crushing loss in overtime against Central Washington, losing on a PAT.
That extra point.
I don't like to say this, but it definitely, how do we say this? This is the elephant in the room. 32.
Yeah, no, I mean, as you see, we've had each game that we've had different running backs. There's different lineups, different things happening. So that as a team changes, they have to adjust, and the adjustments are what they are. But at this point, you're playing against a winless team of a few years who has a chance to win this game here shortly. Everybody's got to step up.
Miles Richardson on the 39-yard line. He'll send it out to Deontay Simon. And Simon smartly runs out of bounds. Who cares if he doesn't pick up any yards? Clock stops, 38 seconds.
Yeah, as they're just hoping he'll be able to get out there and make a man miss. And once he realizes he's not going to do that, he runs straight to the sideline.
It's a loss of 3 on the play, but possession still with Simon Fraser. This crowd definitely into this final home game and senior day at Western Oregon. Miles Richardson in the shotgun, surveys the field and has a man open in the middle.
It looks like it's enough for a first down. And
Rice and John.
They're running the hurry up real quick.
Rice and John gets it. He might down it right here. Smart play from Miles Richardson.
Saving a timeout there. And they set up a 1st and 10 off that last play where they ran the same motion where it looks like they're going to dump it off to the receiver again, but a great timing route. Richardson able to throw it over the middle and get that first down.
Here's what's interesting. This is win or go home. There's no place kicker on that Simon Fraser sideline right now. I'm telling you that. I mean, you've seen no.
We'll see end of the season. What else would you want to do? You know, you're trying to go for a victory.
No, exactly. So this isn't.
You have the chance to do it.
This isn't about being in field goal range. This is about how do we get it in the end zone. 28 seconds remaining in this game, and Richardson now steps up into the middle of the field, and he finds his big receiver, Ryson John, again.
Great play with Johnson. With the defense, great defense. Sees that, looks like he's going to run the draw, but throws it over the middle. Great job. Great job on that catch. Great job on that tackle and coverage as well. Heiberger being exactly where he was supposed to do. But the offense is clicking right now, trying to get down into touchdown range here shortly.
Touchdown range. It's 13-yard line right now. It's 13 yards to go. Simon Fraser is in a position they have not found themselves in since October 18th, 2014. And I don't believe that anybody, when they walked into this stadium today, thought that they would see this. 2nd down and 10, pressure being shown, and the quarterback has nowhere to go. Heiberger drags him out of bounds, and there is a penalty flag. Oh boy. That seemed like it was a pretty natural football play.
If there was such a thing as a announcer's jinx, when I said earlier that they're letting these kids play, ever since then I don't think that's been the case.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 44. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
New set of downs, clock stops, 13 seconds, and all you have to say is Ryson John, 6'7". There's nobody in the defensive backfield that's been able to contain
Clock
number 19.
On the snap.
We're going to see what Western's defense has in store right now.
7 yards to go. 13 seconds remain. Richardson in trouble. Looking. Ball is out. It goes out of bounds. 6 seconds remain, but possession and a penalty flag again. What is going on?
Seems like some of the players are kind of losing their composure as this game's going down to the wire here. It's a lot of stress.
I believe Trey Biel there. Wow. What happens here?
But great job by Klug and the rest of the defense, just able to.
5 seconds remain. Ball still hasn't been marked.
It looks like they want to tie this game up. Instead of going for the win, they're going to go for the tie and try to take it to overtime.
There is a place kicker.
It looks like
this is news to me.
Unless they have an extra special fake field goal that they're going to bust out at this point.
I got to tell you something. You know, Dad, I love you. I know you're at home. You're watching this. I know you probably say on the road you probably go for the win, right? If you're at home, you go for the tie. 32 games consecutively you haven't won.
Metric system, you think about it differently.
I don't see Billy Bean out here. I don't see the Oakland Athletics.
The ruling on the field is the ball was fumbled forward and out of bounds, bringing up 2nd down. After the play, personal foul, offense number 61, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Yeah, and that call
Braden Gatlin.
And that's an unfortunate call to make right as the team's coming out with the field goal.
Timeout of the half. Simon Fraser.
I tell you, what you wanted to have happen here is that you wanted the players to decide the outcome, and maybe you can say that they did when Gatlin gets whistled for that, and all he probably was trying to do is protect Richardson. And so now, on the 29-yard line, you tack on 17 yards. It's a 46-yard?
46-yard field goal.
I don't think you call the ice here, but I don't know. Is there a play here where you do see a fake Mike and you go for the win?
Nobody's back.
This is as good as it gets. 5 seconds.
Third and final charge time out of the half. Western Oregon.
So Western Oregon wants to talk about it because if I'm sitting there and I'm Coach Arn Ferguson and I'm going up against the team they're going up against as pesky an opponent that they've played all season, as competitive a game as they've been in all season, and they are faced with one final play. against a team that has nothing to lose.
Yeah, you maybe think about going to the end zone at this point just to try to finish it with a victory. But the coach is saying, hey, I feel confident with you guys being able to get a sustained drive in overtime if we have to go to the overtime rules. So instead, let's put the field goal team out there and see if they can make the kick. On the other side, the Western Oregon special teams are saying, let's block this kick and let's end this game right now. This game's over with a missed field goal.
There's no indication from the personnel that's on the field that this is anything other than a field goal attempt. Slight wind at the back for Simon Fraser. A field goal that connects, ties this game at 24, a miss, and the losing continues. Kick is up. There is not enough leg. It is no good. Simon Fraser's losing streak will go to 33 with 1 second remaining in the game. And I could not have predicted in 2 of the 4 games that you and I would have called that the final play, or essentially the play that decides the game, would have come on kicks.
Yeah, it looked good down the middle, but unfortunately just not enough leg. And that penalty, huge. That 15-yard penalty. They were in a great position to tie this game and take it to overtime. But unfortunately, another costly mistake, as they've had a lot of penalties this game. Allows for, on a positive note, Western Oregon to get their 3rd victory of the season and finish off a great career for a lot of these seniors on their last game.
Pretty unbelievable, to be honest. Been calling sports pretty much probably since I could talk. At least that's how my mother said it. I was born talking, and I haven't stopped since. Western Oregon literally escapes with a victory this afternoon. Goes into halftime leading 17-7, only to watch that lead not just evaporate. They gave it all up and actually were outscored 14-0 in the 3rd quarter. And it takes an Adrian Saldana, it took a touchdown by Nick Duckworth, who threw 3 interceptions on the day, also had 3 touchdowns as well, to stop Simon Fraser from winning his first game in almost 3 full seasons.
Yeah, Duckworth had his struggles all day long, but able to come up clutch when he needed a pass towards the end of the game. Cheerleaders are happy. And and then the defense comes up mostly with some solid clutch D at the end there. And then that turnover for that penalty for Simon Fraser, backing him up, knocking him out of field goal range, and leaving them with a winless season in Western Oregon with a 3-win season.
Simon Fraser probably on the bus ride back to BC will probably think about some of the penalties, probably none more than the penalty on offensive linemen late in the game that takes them to a place where they are not able to make that field goal. The 15-yard penalty ends up being the undoing of Simon Fraser's bid to end their losing streak. Good old Western Oregon now moves to 17-1 all time versus Simon Fraser. Tough way to end Paul Revis's career, though, but he has several receptions in his final home game. The number 6 will always be remembered as probably one of the toughest and most dynamic players on the offensive side of the ball. Nick Duckworth, again, on the season, quite impressive. 9 touchdowns against this Simon Fraser team. And looking forward to next year, even though Michael Klug and Tyler Johnson will be moving on to what we call real life, Bo Heiberger will come back. And so will Devin Fortier on the offensive side of the ball. For everyone at KWVT Valley Television, myself, Matt Palumbo, Michael Brown, and director Ken Louis-Tag. Football fans, wherever you may be, travel safely. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Grandma and Mom.